Let me guess, you've tried dropshipping before. Maybe you've bought a course from some sort of guru, watched hundreds of how I made X amount with dropshipping videos, and you're still here. Still searching for that one video that is finally gonna make you rich. It's finally gonna make everything click. But I need you guys to understand something very important right now. This is not going to be like any other video. In fact, if you're looking for just another viral product hack or Facebook CBO strategy, this is not one of those videos, and I urge you guys to click off. I'm serious, this video is not going to be for you. What I'm about to share in this video has taken me over 5 years and over $30 million in revenue to find out. And yes, you heard that right, 30 million. I've used this exact strategy to not only start, scale, but even exit multiple 7-figure dropshipping stores. And these are actual brands that have been stemmed from dropshipping that you guys can start from the comfort of your own home. In the next 2 hours, I'm gonna share with you guys everything that I wish I knew when I started my dropshipping journey. And you're gonna learn why dropshipping maybe hasn't even worked for you up until this point. Most importantly, I'm gonna give you the exact framework you need to build a sellable dropshipping store in 2025. Why 99% of dropshippers focus on the wrong things and the wrong metrics that hurt their scale. The exact process we use to find winning products that scale upwards of $30,000 a day in sales. How to build a store that can actually be sold for real money. Because guys, what's the point of doing this whole business model if you're not building a sellable asset? The truth behind profit margins and why most dropshippers are lying to themselves. A step-by-step system teaching you guys how to scale when everything is falling apart. Plus a bonus 90-day roadmap to help you to get to your first 10K a month with branded dropshipping. Before we continue and you learn all of this great stuff, I need to be really clear about something. If you're not willing to put in real work, if you're looking for overnight success, and you're not ready to build something legitimate, this is not for you. I am not gonna sugarcoat anything, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it is not an easy road to walk down. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to build something that actually works. Something that can generate real wealth, something that isn't just gonna fall apart in just a couple months like all these other business models out there. In fact, before we even get into it, guys, let me show you something. So guys, look at this store right here. This is one of the stores that I run myself. Just yesterday, we did close to $60,000 in sales. And no, this isn't some cherry-picked Black Friday day. This is just a normal day for us, right? As you can see, yesterday we did almost $60,000 in sales, and it was down almost 99%, meaning that this was a bad day for us. As you can see, we had around a 5% conversion rate. And guys, these are real metrics. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm showing you guys exactly what it looks like when you run an actual real dropshipping brand. Almost $60,000 a day in daily sales. And mind you guys, I have multiple stores that are doing way better than this. And to show you some cool stuff as well, guys, look, the last 7 days, we did around $380,000 in sales. And the coolest part about this whole thing is we had close to a 10% returning customer rate. That means people are actually coming back and buying our products. One of the biggest misconceptions in dropshipping is you can't sell a product that people want to come back and buy. Whereas I'm showing you guys right now, this is real data. I'll refresh my screen right now so you know it's legit. People actually come back and buy from the store. And you guys can build the same thing on your own that can generate even more money than this. You know why most dropshipping stores fail? It's because they're built backwards. They just start with some winning product they found on TikTok, throw up a crappy store, and hope to God it makes money. They wonder why their customers never come back, why their ad costs keep rising, and most importantly, why their supplier just randomly increases their cost of goods. And guys, I know this because this is the exact same things I went through when I started my dropshipping journey. I spent thousands on courses that taught me the same recycled bullshit from 2020. I built stores that would work for like 1 week and then completely shut off after that. It wasn't until I started to work directly with 8-figure brands that I realized what I was missing the whole time. Here's the reality of dropshipping in 2025. Ad costs have almost doubled in the last 18 months. Customer acquisition has never been harder, and this is coming from someone who's been doing this for years. Platforms like Facebook and TikTok are shutting down ad accounts faster than ever. And worst of all, competition is 10x of what it used to be. But here's what nobody's talking about. While most dropshippers are struggling to break even, there's a small group of operators who are making millions just like myself. And the difference? They're not building just basic normal dropshipping stores. They're building real brands, and they're just happening to use dropshipping as a fulfillment method. And over the next 2 hours in this 100% free course, I'm gonna explain how you guys can do the exact same thing. Most dropshippers fall under this winning product facade that they think that they could have an amazing product that's just gonna lead them to millions in sales. And while there's some truth to this, because having a good product really does help finding success with dropshipping, it is just a small piece of the overall puzzle. Obviously, knowing what type type of products are good and what type of products are bad will really help you find the right success with dropshipping, but it's not going to depict whatever you're going to win or lose. The average dropshipper is going to go up on TikTok, go up on Facebook, and try and find a product that they think other people are making money with. They're going to launch this product to their own Shopify store and run the same ads, and miraculously they're going to make some money. And trust me guys, this might work for some people. You might see some instant success and you might get lucky. But if I've learned anything in the e-commerce game, guys, it's that optimizing for getting lucky is just a downward spiral. It's not the right way to run the business model, and you will get lapped by guys that are doing it properly. Having a good product just isn't enough anymore. With ad costs rising, copycats coming in, and just like everyone and their mom doing the business model, you're competing against so many people. So if you play the same game that has been taught since 2020, you will not make money. Lucky for you guys, this has arisen a new form of dropshipping, a new way of going about things that are way more innovative and way better than any other way of doing the business model. And there's so many hidden costs in running dropshipping, how people used to run it, that people don't even associate and think about, right? Because if you're running a product that everyone else is running, using the same creatives and doing the same strategy that everyone else has been doing up until this point, not only are you going to have to deal with the same ad fatigue as everyone else, people are just going to keep reducing their prices and lowering it down until the point where no one is profitable. I've seen this happen so many times, guys, where like maybe one product might be hot and maybe pop off, and everyone and their mom tries to sell it with the same exact creatives, and the only people that work are the people who keep reducing their prices, and eventually you have no margin. On top of that as well, guys, when you're running products that a lot of other people are running and you're not innovating on your own thing, what happens is your ad costs will rise aggressively. You don't realize, but it's a really competitive game. And if you're not playing it like how the top guys are playing it, you're just eating scraps basically. To get a 30% margin on a dropshipping store that is the same as everyone else is delusional, and it's really hard. And don't get me wrong, again, you might get lucky. You might find a product that other people are scaling, launch it just at the right time and make some money. And you might be at a 30% margin for the first week or 2 weeks, but trust me guys, it will not stay consistent. And a lot of you guys might be wondering, why has this happened? Why has it been harder than ever to see success with just normal dropshipping and doing the business model the way that we've been taught? A big reason is because of the death of impulse buys. What do I mean by that? Well, over the last 2 years, the rate of people impulsively buying on the internet has significantly dropped. And a big reason for this is customers are getting smarter. People know that a lot of these products are from China, and people know that they could just buy it cheaper elsewhere. For example, Amazon, which we'll get into in a second here. People understand that they don't want to impulsively buy random stuff online, and you really have to spark some sort of trigger and some sort of emotion in them for them to actually buy the product. Impulse buys have never been lower. Back in the day when I was running dropshipping stores in 2020, it was so easy to influence a customer to buy on the spot, whereas now you have to do so much more legwork in order to get the person to buy. Another huge factor to why the business model has become so hard and so different in 2025 is ad costs have nearly doubled. CPMs, meaning cost per 1,000 impressions, have never been higher. For my beginners out there, what is a CPM? A CPM kind of indicates what the market and ad costs are at the moment. So for example, CPMs used to be around $4 to $5, meaning for 1,000 people that saw your ad, you would have to spend $4 to $5. Nowadays, when people are testing products, their CPMs are upwards of $40 to $50, meaning they have almost 10x'd. And obviously guys, the reason why this is important is because the more people you can reach with your ads and the cheaper you can do it, the more money you'll make. But if you're spending so much to reach the same amount of people with your ads, your cost per acquisition will be high, and it's gonna be a lot harder to make money profitably. Now, without getting too technical, it is a huge part of the business model. When ad costs rise, it just makes everything 10 times harder. Nevertheless, there's a huge supplier squeeze that is happening right now with all the things that are happening with China. It's a lot harder to get products as cheap as they were before. And nevertheless, customer behavior has shifted so much since 2020. Like I said earlier, guys, impulse purchases have not been as high. And there's been one huge thing that has come to market that has almost completely killed all normal dropshippers. And the name of that one thing is Amazon. Amazon has been on the rise, and it has been taking customers left and right for the last 4 to 5 years. It's never been harder to see success with a general traditional dropshipping store, because most of the time when someone sees your ad for your normal store, what do? They just go straight to Amazon. And this is such a common issue that so many dropshippers face that they don't realize to why people are seeing their ad but not buying their product is because, bro, that product is way cheaper on Amazon. So when you sell something so generic that isn't branded, you're competing with Amazon, and the Amazon price points will always be lower than the dropshipping price points. And the reason for that is Amazon is a completely different business model that allows people to sell via Amazon warehouses, which is a whole game of its own. Now, the whole point of me saying all this is because, guys, traditional dropshipping has never been harder, and it just doesn't work in 2025. Most people are ignoring the facts. The fact that customer acquisition has been increasing over year on year, and it's never been harder to acquire customers profitably in 2025. This goes hand in hand with the CPM increase, meaning that if it costs more to get your ad in front of people, it will naturally cost more for people to buy. Both things have been increasing simultaneously, and it has never been harder to see success. Your margin is way worse than you think. Most people think that in dropshipping, you're gonna have a 30% margin, but if you're not branded, you don't do the business model properly, it is not gonna happen, especially if you're using the same ads and creatives as everyone else. You're just on a race to the bottom. A lot of people don't realize the true costs that go into supply chain. Like, yes, your supplier is gonna raise cost over time. And it happens a lot where my supplier might tell me, or just anyone's supplier in general, like, hey, we're gonna have to increase your COGS by $1 to $2. And the thing is, if you're running on a slim margin, guys, this can kill your business. On top of that as well, a lot of people don't realize, but there's a lot of refunds and chargebacks that are associated with the business model that gurus don't get in front of the camera and talk about. And again, when your business is so reliant on the ups and downs of ad platforms and supplier costs, you don't have a sustainable margin, and you can't afford any sort of room of growth, or you can't afford any sort of room of error. This honestly sets you up for failure, and that's why I truly believe traditional dropshipping has become one of the worst business models out there. Even though a lot of people know me as a dropshipper, and yes, I've made over $30 million in this industry, I can tell you guys confidently, there is a specific way of doing it that is so different than traditional route. And to be honest, I have other ways of naming and labeling this business model that I'm gonna teach you in this course. I call it branded dropshipping because I know that that's what a lot of you guys can resonate with. But as you can tell, it is gonna be so different than normal dropshipping. The whole point of me talking about this and all the issues that are rising in traditional dropshipping is to open your guys' minds and open your eyes to seeing how shitty this business model is actually becoming. If you don't pivot to the business model that I'm gonna teach you in this course, it's gonna be a lot harder to see success. And guys, these are just facts. This is not like I'm saying my opinion on here. I'm telling you guys real facts that you can Google yourself. You can see customer acquisition costs have been rising over time. Facebook advertising costs have been rising over time. Supply costs from China have been rising over time. And dropshipping has only been becoming harder than it was before. To have sustainable profit margins in traditional dropshipping is a thing of the past. And if you think you can just find a random product online on TikTok, launch some winning TikTok ads, and you're gonna make money, that's not how it works. And again, I am not gonna sit in front of the camera and lie to you guys. Even if you have the best product in the world and it crosses off all the check boxes and it's the best product that you can sell in the moment, if you don't do the business model properly, you're not following the right framework, you're not gonna maximize the amount of money you can make out of that product. In fact, you probably won't make any money at all. And that's just the harsh truth behind the business model. A lot of people get in front of the camera and they try and glorify dropshipping into making you think it's a super easy way to make money online. And whereas it still works really well if you're doing it properly, if you don't know the right frameworks to follow and you're not following the right processes, you are not going to see success. That's just a hard fact, and there's so much data behind this to back up why I'm saying what I'm saying. So what's the caveat? What do you guys want to be doing instead that's going to lead to success and help you get to those $1 million months in 60K days like myself? Well, glad you asked. And it's one thing and one thing only, and that is brand. What is the brand difference? So I'm actually gonna show you guys before even getting into it. I'm gonna show you a store that didn't really brand out properly. They didn't really follow the right framework, and show you this store that basically just died out. So guys, we have some stores pulled up here. We're gonna do a case study, right? So this is an example of what I like to call a traditional dropshipping store. They are a little bit branded, but the product line they're selling is easily sourced on AliExpress. The only thing I think that's good about this store is they price their products a little bit higher, but this is one of the quickest examples I can find of a store that I don't think is doing the right form of drop shipping. And I'm gonna show you guys the numbers so you know I'm legit. As you guys can see, the store is really basic. They don't really have a branded approach. They have way too many products going on. This is like, to me, a 2020 drop shipping store, right? And now if we keep going forward, we'll pull up how much they're making. They're doing around 1K a day, 3K a day here, 1K a day here. They're doing around $1,000 to $3,000 a day in sales. And while you think that might be really good, trust me, I know this game, I know the margins. They're definitely not making good money because their margins are probably very low. And this is an example of a store that you don't want to start. This is an example of what I'm telling you guys what not to do and what doesn't work in 2024. Now, the thing is, this store to the normal untrained eye would be a great dropshipping store to start. It might be like the winning product or the winning store you guys think you're gonna have that's gonna make a lot of money. But to someone like me who's made over 30 million in this industry, over 30 M's, I can tell you this is not a good store. They don't have a clear vision on what they wanna sell. For example, they have like some gifting right here to family members, and they have dog tags over here, which is like totally unrelated to what I just saw. And if you go to the home, they seem to be like a gifting store, but on top of that as well, they're not only just seasonal, because seasonal stores don't make money for most of the year, but it's not even niche down or branded gifting, meaning they're just selling whatever. And this is not a good example, because a lot of people think, oh, I can just start a dropshipping store. I'll list a bunch of gifting products, a bunch of beauty products, and I'll run ads, and then people will see my products and buy all my products, and I'll make a shit ton of money. No, bro, that's not how it works. 99% of the people that click on your ad are not going to click off your homepage and see your other products. And when you have a bunch of stuff all over the place like this, it just doesn't work. Like, for example, over here, it's a "To My Man, I Just Want to Be Your Last Everything" keychain, right? Well, that's good if you're going to have like a relationship gifting brand. But then over here, they have "To My Beautiful Daughter." Now it's like, is this for parents and kids? Then you go over here, they have fucking dog tags, right? So there's no clear vision for this store, and that's why they're not making a lot of money. And again, a lot of you guys might be watching this and think, oh my God, like this is like what, like 30K a month, they're making good money. Trust me, they're probably pulling in like 3K profit a month. Like, the margins on this type of stuff is not good. It's not worth it. And 99% of the people that click on your ad, if you were to run a product like this or any of these products here, are gonna see your price point. They're gonna go over to Amazon.com, buy on Amazon.com, and you're gonna be out customers, right? So the only thing these stores are really doing is driving traffic to Amazon listings. So unless you wanna lose money and help the competition, this is not what I recommend. Now, on the flip side of that, let's look at this store right here. Now, this store, Magic Styler, way different feel, way more branded. Right when you go to the store, you know they're selling hair care products. And even on top of that as well, these are like hair devices. So they're not even dipping into like oils or anything like that. So they're very clear on what they're selling. The store, again, is way better. If we go to the product pages themselves, they're way more, I'm on my computer right now, so it doesn't look as good, but I can tell you guys on mobile, this thing probably looks amazing. It's normally branded store. This is a normal branded dropshipping store. This is exactly what you guys want to be doing. This product itself isn't like the most unique product either. It's a pretty basic product, and it's a pretty decent store. Again, I'm on my computer, so it's not going to look as good. These are more made for mobile. On top of that as well, they have a us versus them, which I always recommend when I teach my students. Pretty basic stuff, pretty straightforward, but this is a good branded store. And by the way, guys, the big thing about branding is actually it's not so much on the website, but it's more so in the ad level. And we'll go through ads here in a second, but I want to show you guys the difference in revenue between a store that is traditional dropshipping and a store that is branded dropshipping. I want you guys to guess how much you think the store is doing a day. Put in the comments what your guess is. Do you think it's maybe 1K a day, 5K a day, 100K a day? What do you guys think the store is doing a day? I want you to put in the comments. But once you put in your guess, I want to show you guys. They're doing around $60,000 a day. So you can see 64K, 59K. And by the way, before the comments say, oh, Shop Hunter isn't accurate, it's pretty goddamn accurate. I use this for some of my own brands that I can tell you it's pretty on top of that. I'm actually going to refresh the screen here so you guys know I'm not showing you some fake numbers. These guys are crushing it. Like 60K a day, 55, 56, 39, 57K a day. So these guys are literally doing over $2 million a month in sales. $2 million a month. Like, think about that. That is $24 million a year if they can stay consistent. This is a store, a brand really, that can sell for millions. Whoever started this thing, they're doing it right, and they can make millions what they're doing. Now, to take it a step further, we're actually gonna pull up ad library here and show you guys the difference in ads, because the big thing about branded dropshipping is, and you'll learn this throughout this free course, is that as important it is to have a branded store, the more important side of the business model is having a branded ad account, meaning having branded creatives and a branded structure around your marketing. But again, if you look at the first store I showed you guys that is non-branded dropshipping, that is more traditional, they only have 2 ads running. People think that you can just make a store like this that has a bunch of SKUs on it, spend no time on your ads, just launch 2 static image ads, and you're gonna make a bunch of money. That's not the case. Now, if we pull up the store that is crushing it right here, if we pull up the store, you can see they have a lot of ads running. If we go to view ads, they have a lot of ads running. So as you can tell, guys, the ad is very branded. I'm not gonna waste your time and go through the whole ad because you guys can just find it yourself if you go through the URL, but it's very branded, it's very good. They have custom UGC content, and we're gonna talk all about that throughout this free course. But as you can see, they have way more ads running. They're focused more on a smaller niche of products. They're literally focused on like 1 or 2 SKUs. They're more branded about it, and they're making literally 60 times more money on a day-to-day basis. This brand is lapping it. And the whole point of me showing you guys this is to show you the difference between a traditional dropshipping store and a branded dropshipping store, so you guys can see how different it actually is. Because I'd argue that the store that is doing really good, the branded dropshipping store, they're probably not even dropshipping at this point. They probably made a couple M's on their dropshipping front, reinvested in the inventory. Now they have custom inventory, and now they're having returning customers because their shipping times are so goddamn good. So you could argue that this is a difference between some shitty dropshipping store and a full-fledged e-commerce brand. But the point being here is, if you know what you're doing in 2025, the amount of money you can make dropshipping is ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous, and I'm going to show you guys throughout this video how you can do it for yourself. A big part about the branded dropshipping approach as well, just to wrap up this first module, is that you can charge way more for your products, almost 3 to 4x of what you're getting them for, because you have a branded approach to it. When you have custom content and creators making videos of the product saying, hey, I bought it from this brand and this is the result I got, you're now being able to charge whatever you want for that product. So for example, the Air Stylist brand I just showed you guys, they're charging way more from what they get the product for, and that's only going to work when you have a brand. Now, if let's say they didn't have a brand to it and they're just trying normal traditional dropshipping without the methods that I'm going to teach you in this video, what's going to happen is that they overcharge. People are just going to go to Amazon, like I mentioned before. So if you don't do it properly, you're just going to drive traffic to Amazon. And the whole game of dropshipping and branded dropshipping, this whole e-com game, is being able to charge as much as possible and have as many people buy as possible. And the only way to do that is with a brand. So the moral of the story here, guys, when it comes to having the right offer, you want to realize that offers aren't as black and white as just buy this, get this. It's about what the customer is getting out of the product. And a big part about understanding the right guarantees to set behind your product is understanding what your customer actually wants, right? Because for example, it can be as specific as someone buying a hair oil not to grow more hair, but to grow their old hair back, right? So just by understanding exactly what the customer is buying the product for can literally be the difference between you making $30,000 a day with that product and you barely being able to find profitability. You need to know why people are buying your product. And there's a million different ways to do this that we go over in our community, which if you want, click the link below. But just to give you some, because you've clicked on this video, was Amazon reviews, going on TikTok, finding out what type of people are making the video, and then working backwards. So for example, with hair products, if you're selling like a specific type of oil or a specific type of cream, if you go on TikTok and it's a lot of older women talking about it, you know they're buying it because they want to have the long, luscious hair they used to have, rather than younger people talking about it, talking about how they want to have like a celebrity's hairstyle or something like that, right? Just by being able to identify the people that are buying it, you have a lot more insight on how to structure your offer. And again, this only applies with products that fit the brand catalyst model. Products that solve a problem, have a wow factor, and overall sell a shortcut. Another big part about selling products online, and this might seem really small, but it makes a big difference when you're trying to see success, is building in upsells from day one. Guys, when you launch a product online, when you're trying out dropshipping, this just goes for everyone watching this. Be sure to have as many upsells as possible. One of the best apps we like to use for upsells is One Click Upsell. It's a super straightforward app, and I'm not going to bore you guys by making a tutorial on how to use it. That's not what my channel is for. My channel is to help you guys better understand how to do everything on your own. Now, when it comes to One Click Upsell, again, it's super straightforward, but this is the app we use for all our stores. You can set up pre-purchase upsells, post-purchase upsells, and everything in between. Upsells are really important and plays a huge part about seeing success. If you guys don't have the right upsells for your store, you're not going to be able to see profitability. Upsells can be anything as simple as just adding in the same product at a discounted rate, or something more complicated like adding a complementary product. For example, if you're selling a hair oil, your upsell can be like a scalp massager, or if you're selling a weight loss product like a weight loss pill, your upsell can be like a fat burning cream. It's just really simple and it's like best practice, and I'd be criminal for me not to tell you guys about this in the free course, because when you guys are setting up your product test and looking for products, always make sure to be on the lookout for an upsell that best supports that product. It's just like free money you don't want to leave on the table. Now, most importantly, when it comes to pricing your product, you want to create an optimized AOV system. Now, what do I mean by optimized AOV system? This is just an encompassed system of everything you need to include to maximize what your AOV is. Now, if you guys don't know what AOV means, it just means average order value. The higher your AOV, the better your product will be, and the better your product test will go, right? Because the whole thing about having a brand with a brand catalyst and doing this fancy new model of dropshipping is to have a higher AOV so you can outcompete everyone else. Guys, you want a good margin, right? Because when you're doing traditional dropshipping, you're not pricing your products at a premium, you're not adding upsells, and you're not doing everything right. The issue is, it's not that it doesn't work, it's just that you're not gonna make any money because your ad costs are gonna be too high, your margin is gonna be too low, and you just have to turn everything off. Having a high AOV is so important, and you guys, you might not realize it, but just the difference of like $5 to $10 can be everything when it comes to finding profitability in this business model. Now, I can give you a really common example to where, let's say say you and me are selling the same product. For simplicity's sakes, we both get this product for $10. I sell it for $20, you sell it for $15, meaning that you have a $5 cost per acquisition, a break-even metric of $5, and I have a break-even metric of $10 because I sell it for $20, you sell it for $15. Now, hypothetically, let's say we're both getting a $5 cost per purchase. So meaning that when someone clicks on our ad, every $5 we spend on ads, we get one purchase. You have to turn your ads off because you're not making any money, it's breaking even, so you have to scale down or turn your ads off. I, on the other hand, since I have a $10 break-even margin, I can afford $5 extra per customer. I'm making $5 on every customer, I can scale up. So what happens is I'm making money and I can keep scaling upwards of $30 to $50 to even $60,000 a day, upwards of even $100,000 a day, just depending on how good my ad performance is. And you have to turn your shit off. And the thing is that all boils down to who had the better AOV, who had the higher price point offer. So it's so important to create a good AOV system, an optimized AOV system around your product, because that's how you're gonna see success. It could be something as simple as making sure you guys have the right amount of upsells, at least 3 upsells in place to see success, or it could be something as complicated as having premium pricing based off what your guarantee for your product is. And again, I can't stress this enough, guys. When you're selling a brand catalyst, when you're selling that winning product, make sure you have premium pricing, or else it's gonna be so hard to see success. We're gonna go over supplier relationships here, guys, because supplier relationships go hand in hand with actually being able to price your products good. Because if you're getting a ridiculous cost of good on your product, it's gonna be impossible to get a good pricing. This is honestly a really quick and seamless process to the whole traditional route and even the branded route, because it's been the same ever since we've started dropshipping, and that is have the best supplier in the game and you won't have to worry about it ever. Lucky for you guys, I give away the exact supplier I use for all my 8-figure brands in our community and in our program. If you guys want, just book a call with me and my team below so we can plug you up with our supplier and get you guys scaling, because honestly, I've been with a supplier for years. I've traveled to China multiple times to meet the supplier, and if it wasn't for this particular supplier, I don't think I'd be making money with this business model, because I know so many horror stories of people getting scammed by their suppliers, so many horror stories of suppliers overcharging, and I just know for a fact that this supplier has been one of the biggest reasons I've been able to see success with this business model. Not only do they give me the best rates, but they also make sure that I have the fastest shipping times from China. There's been times before where we literally have 4-day shipping time from China, which is unheard of in any other supply chain. Nevertheless, just to give you guys the rundown on how suppliers work, so you know when you pursue this branded dropshipping model, is you have private suppliers and you have public suppliers. Public suppliers are going to be like CJ Dropshipping, AutoDS, ZenDrop, and all these companies, and nothing wrong with these companies. So you guys, if you're part of this company and you're watching me, I have nothing wrong with you guys. I'm just here to tell you guys my experience with using these type of companies, and it's never been good. It's never been good because you're just another one of their clients. There's no brand relationship there. You're not building a relationship with a supplier. You're just working with a company that's helping you with fulfillment. It's not anything worthwhile. And I've never seen like monumental success with doing that route. And honestly, I don't recommend it. And I know I'm going to get a lot of heat for this because every other dropshipping guru gets paid a commission, or they get paid an affiliate to promote these type of guys because they have some of the best rates in the space. Like if I made this video about any one of these companies, I'm not going to name any names, I would probably make over like 500K on this video, but I don't need the money. I could care less about it. So I'm going to push that to the side and tell you guys more so about private suppliers. Now, private suppliers are suppliers that you can get in contact with directly that can help you get the best rates, the best supply chain, the best everything, right? And again, these are like the suppliers that we use for our 8-figure brands. To be honest, guys, I don't know anyone who runs an 8-figure dropshipping store or 8-figure e-commerce brands that uses any of these public suppliers. And again, not trying to shit on them or anything, but like do your own research. It's not really the best route to go, especially if you're taking the branded approach and you want to find a brand catalyst and customize it over time and make it the best product possible. You're going to have a way better experience doing that with private suppliers like the ones we use. Also, not to mention, when it comes to using private suppliers, after you start to establish consistent orders, you can set up the most ridiculous and best terms in your favor, meaning that you can have credit lines, you can have them front a lot of expenses for you. For example, there's been times before with my current supplier to where we maybe didn't want to put up a lot of money for inventory, but we still wanted the US shipping time. So we would tell them like, hey, can you front the next batch of like 4 to 5 months of inventory? And they'll do it just because we have so many consistent orders coming in. There's so much of a benefit to building a relationship with a supplier that you just don't get with these public companies that I can't promote them. I just can't. A big part about making sure you're able to price your products for a higher price point is being able to negotiate proper terms. Now, the most important part about negotiating with suppliers is that you want to tell the supplier that you can get consistent orders. Guys, Suppliers care more about consistency than they do about quantity. And that is something that you should remember for the rest of your dropshipping career, because at the end of the day, if you're telling your supplier, hey, I can get thousands and thousands of orders, they'll be like, okay, cool, everyone says that. But if you tell them that, hey, I can commit to 100 to 300 orders for the next couple months, even if you can't just use this type of terminology, you're gonna see a lot more success in terms of getting lower price points because they care more about consistency. They want you for a long time and not a good time. And that's what every supplier has told me. And I've seen it firsthand when I go to China and I tell them, hey, I can commit and show you guys consistent order count. They're just ready to just drop their wallet and literally give you whatever product you want at whatever price point you want. Leveraging price points with suppliers does come with consistency, meaning that if you have a super low order count or like no order count at all, it's really hard to tell a supplier to give you like a lot off of what the cost of goods should be. Whereas if you have a couple orders coming in, it's up to you as a founder to be like, hey, I need $2 to $3 off my COGS now because I've showed you guys I can actually sell this product. Once they know you're serious, the whole game changes. It's just up to you to come to them with like negotiating tactics to be like, hey, I can get consistent orders. I'm already getting orders. If you can't give me a better price of COG, I will go to someone else. Just use that terminology and it'll be so easy to negotiate your pricing. Another big part about selling brand catalyst products is quality control. Guys, you'll realize that a lot of the products that we urge you guys to sell that, have the problem solving factor, have the wow factor, that are shortcuts, are products that people might put on their bodies or consume, right? Because a lot of people think you can't sell consumables or you can't sell these type of products, dropship, but newsflash, yes, you can, and people love them and they'll come back for more. Guys, the device you're watching this video on right now was probably from China. Some of the supplements you take on a day-to-day basis, whatever you think it's from the US or not, I'm telling you, it's from China. A lot of your everyday products that you might think are from the US are not, and they're from China. Trust me, guys, I've been to China so many times. I've seen the manufacturing of different types of supplements, different types of hair products, different types of perfumes, different types of creams, beauty products, skincare products, makeup. I've seen it all. So much shit comes from China, you don't even realize, but it is so important to the whole supply chain of the world. And so many products you already use on a day-to-day basis from huge 9-figure brands are from China. The whole facade of Chinese being bad quality and like Chinese products break and Chinese products aren't good for you literally was just created by America so they could keep supply chain within America. But newsflash, guys, China has some of the best quality products out there. And honestly, in terms of supplements and hair products, I've seen personally that Chinese products actually have a way better returning customer rate than when we supply in the US. And I know it sounds surprising to a lot of people, but you need to realize it from a logistics standpoint. China, they have the same machines and the same manufacturing and the same ingredients as you would get in the US. It will literally is the same thing. Like for example, when you sell like a hair product or some sort of oil from China, the ingredients themselves aren't actually from China. They might be from Morocco or from like Mount Fiji or like exotic places. Those are the same ingredients that the US manufacturer is using. The ingredients themselves aren't from China. It's just the supply itself of like putting it together, right? So it doesn't matter if you do it in China or in the US or in Mexico, it's all the same thing. With that being said, guys, there was a huge facade in just dropshipping and just e-commerce in general. People are saying that don't get shitty products from China. And it's literally just like a marketing scheme. And I'm telling you guys, it's the same exact thing. With that being said, quality control is a big part about the whole business model. And it's very simple. Whenever you sell a product that is scaling up and doing good orders, you can simply just let your supplier know like, hey, can I just get an ingredients list for this product? Or hey, can I get some sort of quality check on it? Can you guys let me know? Because again, a lot of the factories in China have all the certificates and everything you need in order to be confident that this is a good product. For example, just a couple of weeks ago, I went to China and documented the whole thing. The video might be up or not, I don't know. We actually went to some of the biggest supplement manufacturers in China, and I'm telling you guys, these guys have all the certificates. They're halal certified, they're third-party lab tested, cruelty-free, vegan, organic. There's everything that you could ever want is already sourced from China. And once you have the right connections, you can source all these products. Again, you guys want the supplier we use for all our 8-figure brands, click the link below. Now, customer experience is a huge part of this whole business model. A lot of people overlook about what their customer experience actually is, and it hinders them to making actual money with this business model. It's really important you guys create a real brand voice, and I know that seems obsolete when you're in the testing phase, but hear me out. When you find a winning angle for your particular brand or product, it's up to you to go ahead and make sure your whole brand and everything around your store is surrounding that winning angle. So for example, you could do something as taboo as like libido. If your brand is helping men with libido, you should make sure it falls under that category, and it's very clear to when they click on your brand and they click on your homepage and they click on your website, they know like, hey, this is kind of for libido. So brand voice goes hand in hand with angles, and that's why I'm telling you guys, when you're finding your brand catalyst, you want to make sure you're easily able to identify what the angle is of what the problem is, what's being solved here, and you make sure everything you do for that product test or for that brand is surrounding that angle. You'll see way more success, and you will again be able to price your products way higher. Customer service that scales is really important. CS is one one of the easiest parts of the business model, and we go over this more in like terms of like delegation and whatnot, but just to give you guys a quick rundown, you can easily hire CS reps from Upwork. Ideally, a lot of the CS team will be based in the Philippines. This is where I saw the best bang for your buck when it comes to having customer service employees. This is a whole thing of its own, but it's super simple, guys. Just by making one simple Upwork post saying you're looking for a customer service rep and hiring the first person you see. It's one of the easiest parts of the business model. I'm not going to get too much into this right now because we're talking about the basics before we go into like the more advanced stuff. But again, you want a customer service team that can withstand volume, and that just comes with finding people on Upwork and plugging them into your Gmail account to help answer customer service emails. Creating returning customers, guys, this is a huge part of the business model. A lot of people overlook the fact that you want products that support returning customers. And this goes hand in hand with the brand catalyst we urge you guys to sell. Selling products that not only have a shortcut but have a wow factor typically are like supplements, hair care, skin care, beauty products that people can come back and buy more. And when you have a replenishable product, you can do so many unique things like add subscriptions and do so much to it. And guys, remember, the most important part about what I've said up until this point is that the best dropshipping products don't look like dropshipping products. And a big part about that is products that don't typically look like dropshipping products are products that most of the time are supplements. Most of the time are hair care products. Most of the time, these are products that like when a normal untrained eye will look at would be like, hey, this is something that I wouldn't buy as a dropshipping product. Throughout the video, we'll go more in depth on how you can increase your returning customer rate and things you can do in order to make more customers come back. But guys, remember, when you have the right supplier and you have good quantity coming in, you can always negotiate with the supplier and get US inventory for free and use that as a leverage to get more returning customers. But again, we get more into that later in the video. Another big part about having a great dropshipping product that people actually come back and buy more with the more branded approach is your unboxing experience. The best advice I can give when it comes to packaging and boxing in this game of branded dropshipping is literally just copy other people. I don't need to make a 30-minute spiel on this because it's so straightforward. You guys literally just want to copy other people when it comes to your packaging. So if you have like a skincare brand, find another skincare brand that's doing well and just copy their packaging. Your supplier 9 out of 10 times can do one-to-one. Now, growth planning is a huge part of this business model, especially when you start to see success. A big part about actually getting to those 60K days consistently is going to be setting up real expectations. I'm going to show you guys throughout the video how to kind of plan and project like what type of revenues you're going to be getting from the money that's coming in through your current ad metrics. But setting up real expectations is key, right? So for example, if you have a product that has maybe like a $30 break-even CPA, you realistically want to aim for a $20 to $25 CPA. So around $5 to $10 profit per customer is realistic. There's a lot of small things like that that you want to have realistic setups for when you're running your e-commerce store. It's going to help you find more success. A lot of realistic metrics can be under the lines of having a realistic customer expectation, right? So for example, if you are shipping from China, it's going to be a lot harder to get customers to come back. But once you get that US inventory, you can definitely expect almost double of the customers to come back. So following these realistic expectations will kind of push you to do more of the brand building stuff like getting US inventory, making your packaging better, and doing all the right things. Cash flow management is a big part of this business as well. Again, if you guys have the right suppliers and you're charging a premium for your product, you shouldn't have the issue with margin. And the best advice for cash flow management I can give you guys is please don't blow the money you make with this business model. A lot of people will make money with dropshipping, and more specifically branded dropshipping, and maybe like they're making, let's say like 1 to 2K profit a day. They start to think, oh, I'm making 60K a month, I can spend like 40K a month. Now, that's not right, because at the end of the day, you don't know what can happen to your ad account or what can happen to your Shopify store. You might get a reserve on Shopify. You might have an issue with your ad account. There's a million different things that can happen. So I urge people, when you make money with dropshipping, try and keep a decent amount of money in the bank until you build up a good enough cushion. And again, we'll get more into this later into the video because this is more advanced stuff. But the best part about this business model is when you have a branded approach, you have a premium pricing, and you have people coming back, your margin is really good and you don't really have to worry too much about like running out of money. But you should never run the business in such a way to where you're reliant on your next day profit. You should never be like, okay, today I made 2K, I spent 2K, tomorrow I'm gonna make 2K, I spent 2K. Just don't be a dumbass with it. And last but not least, team structuring blueprints. When it comes to your team structure, it's really straightforward, guys. I'll get more in depth in it later in the video, but just to give you a rundown, you have a customer service team that is essentially just a customer service manager and just a couple customer service reps under your customer service manager. Again, you can find all these people on Upwork and they all can be from the Philippines. If you want more like in-depth templates on what to put on Upwork, be sure to book a call below so we can give you that one-on-one help. When it comes to your marketing side of things, you have the creative strategist, you're gonna want editors, and you're gonna want media buyers. Again, we get more in depth on this later in the video, but this is just to kind of show you guys a little bit about what goes on behind the scenes. Section 3, actually building your store. So we're gonna start this section off by going over the first 90-day timeline that you guys can follow to build your own store. Usually week 1 to 2 consists of research and planning for your brand catalyst. Now in this week, one of the most important parts to remember is you're trying to do everything around pre-existing winning angles and not recreate the whole wheel. The thing is, guys, there's a lot of winning angles out there that are already making a lot of money for guys like me. Just copy them. Hair care, weight loss, beauty, a lot of these angles that you see that sell a shortcut, being a wow factor and also problem solving factor, will always do better than the other stuff out there. When you're doing research, please, I urge you guys, don't focus so much about what platform you're using, whatever it be, Callo data or whatever it be, TikTok Creative Center, Facebook Ad Library, which we'll get into here shortly. Please focus on what you're looking for. I actually have a video going more in depth on the product research side of things. If you want this video, I'll put it somewhere on the screen. But just to give you guys a quick rundown, it's all about what you're looking for and not where you're looking. Usually by week 3, you should already have some of the products you want to test, if not have already launched some of the products on your own. So we're gonna get into weeks 3 and 4. 3 and 4 are usually set up for actually getting your stores up and running, getting ads going, and doing a lot of the media buying stuff that we'll go over shortly here. Weeks 5 and 8 are mostly gonna be over initial traffic sources and optimization. So this is a lot of like progressive creative testing and just really trying to make things work. And week 9 to 12 typically are gonna be scaling and making systems, team, and all the good stuff that we'll kind of get over. So I realized the best way for me to go about this module, and this is honestly gonna be the longest module in the video, so make sure you have your notes ready, is we're gonna break it down by week and also kind of get into the specifics, tutorials, and how-tos on each part of it. So starting with week 1 to 2, going over research, I'm gonna pull up my screen here and show you guys me actively doing some product research so you can get a little bit of your own taste on how we like to do things. Most important part about what I'm about to do here is not the physical act of me actually doing the product research, but I'm gonna do my best to vocalize my thoughts so you guys can adapt the same mindset when you're doing product research as well, right? So, because guys, remember, when you're doing product research, you're not looking for products, you're looking for brand catalysts that can turn into multi-million-dollar brands. So you'll make more money focusing on how to build these products into brands than how we can make a quick buck out of some of these products. So guys, here we're gonna go through 2 of my favorite current product research methods. And again, guys, it's not about where you look, it's about what you look for. Depending on when you're watching this video, there might be like new, more up-to-date methods out there, but to be honest, it doesn't matter, again, where you're looking, it's what you're looking for. I'm gonna do my best to kind of go through what I'm thinking and the thoughts I get throughout this process, but remember guys, that's what's the most important, because I've said this in other videos before, my favorite product research method in 2025, 2024, whenever you're watching this video, and this is going to be for the next probably 5 to 10 years of my life, is literally just going to be scrolling social media. You'll find the best products going through social media, just scrolling on your feed and having ads pop up on your feed. And there's specific ways you can go about optimizing and finding the best products within that route. And I'll go over that shortly here. But guys, remember, it's all about what you're looking for. When you know exactly what type of products work and what don't, you'll be able to identify products left and right. I mean, I have a clip actually of me and my team. We went to Singapore a couple weeks ago, and one of the first winners I ever scaled in my life being carnelian stones. And that product that made me over $1 million was just there chilling in Singapore. And the thing is, guys, it's not about where you look, it's about what you look for. And that's the whole point of all this. So let's jump into it. Okay, we're gonna keep this short and concise. Again, I've watched all the content out there when people do live product research, and a lot of it's obsolete. You basically get 90% of what you need within the first 10 minutes because you just kind of understand what they're looking for and you can adopt it yourself. But let's say I'm looking for a brand catalyst. It's time to find that product that's gonna make me a millionaire. What do I do, right? So Callo data is one of the best optimized product research tools I've seen so far. Guys, I have no affiliation with them, by the way. And Callo data, ironically enough, is not even meant for brands that are hosted on Shopify. It's meant for like TikTok shop products. So a lot of the people that are like Shopify OGs that have made money in the space for a long time don't even know that this exists. As we scroll through here, right now, this is the feed on January 11th. So it's pretty updated depending on when you're watching this video. Off the bat, I'm seeing stuff that I already like, right? First thing here, high waist, butt lifting, tummy control, side pocket. So this is like some sort of, this looks like some sort of weight loss product or like workout product because it helps snatches. And by the way, guys, like I'm gonna do my best to vocalize my thoughts here because it really helps. Yesterday they did around 100K. So far they're doing really good numbers. Last 30 days they did around $2.5 million in revenue. And then last 90 days they did 8. And then let's see here, they did 5 million. So yep, they made some good money so far. They're really crushing it. A lot of good content out there. If we go through the videos videos is what speaks, because at the end of the day, you don't have winning products, you have winning creatives, right? So we need to see that these videos are aggressive enough and they portray the winning marketing angle. And if we identify that they do portray the winning marketing angle, then we're chilling because they're making good money. So we're gonna pull it up here. So far, I can say this is a great creative because you have like average looking people in the video and they're saying like, hey, this is like, look what this did to me. It's like, it looks like a BBL. So we already know it. Solving a big angle, which is like women's insecurity and like body shape and anything body related always does well. So this is like really good because it's like showing that angle. It's hyper focused on like, think about it, guys. Why are people buying this product? It's so they could have a fatter ass. Like that's literally all it is. So, and this creative outlines that for literally 33 seconds. It's just a whole creative of like, look at how fat your ass will be in this video. Guys, it's like monkey brain. Like, you know, it's so easy. A lot of people overcomplicate the whole process of how to make this thing work. Figure out why people are buying the product. Make sure your brand is around that. So actually that winning product becomes now a brand catalyst. Have some sort of branded offer like a guarantee that says like, have a fatter butt in 90 days or your money back, or have a fatter peach emoji in 90 days or your money back. Be like kind of slick about it and launch the ads. It's that simple. This is the only example, by the way, of a clothing product that I'd recommend people to sell because it's not really a clothing product. It's more so shapewear, but let's keep going. Same thing. So it's a great example right there. This is a before and after, so it's a good creative.
No way that you have not seen the Halara leggings that make your butt look like a butt. Had to grab them. I really wanted them in black, but they didn't.
This is what we call UGC content, super organic, super unique. The best type of creatives look like stuff that's like native to the platform. So if someone was scrolling and they saw this on their platform, like on their as an ad, they would watch it because it's like a good video. So before and after, pretty good. So far, this is a banger product. Like for example, before, after. Like, so this is like a huge before and after. It's like this product right here is showcasing exactly what would be a winning product. It finds one aggressive angle that exists within the angles that we like to sell. They have ads around them and they're doing good revenue, and there's a lot of content you can use and you can rip and use for Facebook ads. So this is, again, a great product. Guys, I've been doing product research for around 4 minutes and I already found a product that I think will hit. It was on the front page of Callo Data. It's all about what you know and knowing what to look for. And that's the thing, like when I do live product research, because I've actually made a video not too long ago of me doing live product research. I never posted it because it's so obsolete, because it takes me 3 minutes and I find a product that I can sell. It's not hard. Once you know what you're looking for and you're able to navigate these platforms well, it's a matter of just literally just launching the product, right? But just to keep going here, because I know one example isn't enough, there's a lot more stuff here that is on the top page here. So, I mean, there's so much stuff here. Like, I mean, I don't even have to go through that much of the platform, but if we just tap on, this is actually similar to the brand I showed you guys before, Airstyle. Let's go to more right here on Callo Data. Let's see what we can find. This is not bad right here. Look at this, Vital pH gummies, 2.7 revenue, so they're doing great numbers. You can see some of the videos.
And I want to go home. Shop for that spray, but I really can't get up because my legs are shut.
So that is a very aggressive creative. I can't even play the rest of it because I'll probably get banned off YouTube. But this, if you know, you know, this is a libido-based product. So again, very aggressive marketing angle for a product that I can guarantee you guys you can drop ship this without an issue. A very easy product to sell, very aggressive marketing angles that do seem to do well. And you need good ad accounts to run like libido-based stuff. And if you guys want the same ad accounts we use, be sure to click the link below. But long story short, this is, again, another banger product. Like, let's watch another video here. So like essentially the marketing angle here is like, this is gonna help your vagina smell better, and like because it will, then your sex will be better. So it's literally as aggressive. This is honestly, ironically enough, I just picked on the most aggressive product because it's a health and wellness, which is a great niche. This will be, again, another product I would 100% test. Yeah, crazy aggressive. I can't play these creatives or I'm getting banned. But as you guys can see, again, this is another great product because let's think about it here. It solves the problem because, I mean, you know, it has a wow factor because obviously, you know. And then with those two things, it's a shortcut because again, like with this particular problem it's solving, I'm sure there's a lot of natural remedies that girls have tried or people that are buying this product have tried that maybe don't work or take a long time. So this product is like a shortcut to like getting that end result. And in this case, they've made the marketing angle so aggressive that the end result is literally just great sex, right? Which again, it might seem a little bit aggressive, but this is what's working. I mean, they're doing over 2 million a month on TikTok Shop. They did almost 18K in sales yesterday, which is still great. So this goes to show the potential of this type of stuff. But nevertheless, great product. Took us a couple minutes to find it. Again, it's not hard. Game is not hard at all. And then let's say this particular product does work because you used the branded approach that we're talking about having a branded offer, having a guarantee, really understanding why your customers wants to buy it and then putting a guarantee behind it. You can go ahead and sell a lot of other products that do the same thing under the same store and really build out a great brand and get US inventory and do the whole thing that we'll talk about throughout the video. So we keep scrolling here. Let's see if we can find something else. What is an example of a product that we wouldn't sell? So a big thing here, guys, is you internalizing the thoughts that I'm vocalizing here because again, it's not about where you look, it's about what you look for. So a lot of people might have noticed that the two products I picked out so far have great revenues and you might think that's why I would pick them, but here's a product that has great revenue. It did almost close to $2 million last month, averaging around 55K a day. However, I would never sell this. And let's look at some of the ads so you can see why.
I'm sorry, but someone has to say it. This vacuum does just as good, if not better, than those $700.
So this is a regular vacuum. And I don't care what you say that, it works better than other vacuums. It's a regular vacuum. So when a product like this doesn't really have a moat behind it, it's just like a good product. It's like good vacuum. Now people are gonna start basing it off pricing and someone might go to Amazon and buy the same thing because again, like this is not unique. The product photos aren't unique. I promise you could find the same thing on Amazon, right? So this doesn't really stand out in terms of like the angles behind it and whatnot. It has a wow factor because it's such a good vacuum. And some people might argue that it also solves a problem because it's better than most vacuums, but it's not like an insecurity or like a good angle that like you can build a good brand around. This is literally just a half-assed normal vacuum. So again, I wouldn't sell a product like this, even though it's making great money. I just don't see this being a good brand catalyst because if I launched it and let's say I wanted to explore more marketing angles, I can't because it's literally just a vacuum. Whereas like the balancing pH gummies that we just saw, those gummies there's so many different angles behind it. And not only can help a girl in her sex life, but it can also help her with her confidence and help her just with her health and menstrual care. There's so much that goes beneath that product that makes it so much of a better product and so much more potential. And obviously in the long term with a product like that, you can do subscriptions and have returning customers and build like a real business. Whereas with the vacuum, it's not really going to happen. So yeah, don't recommend it, but let's keep going. We'll do one. Let's actually go to TikTok ads here so we can do some of the product research here. So again, TikTok ads is great. If you're doing product research on your computer though, I think Callow Data is honestly the best one out to date right now, but that doesn't mean that TikTok sucks. It just isn't where it used to be, honestly. Here's an example of a product I wouldn't sell. Like, I don't even think I need to explain why that sucks because it's literally just a bubble machine and the creative has like no one talking about it. Like, for example, like this wouldn't sell this.
Sleep like a baby every night. The sound of rain helps you to...
It's a gimmicky product. You could argue that like, oh, it has a wow factor because it helps you sleep and and it looks cool and it solves a problem because it helps you sleep. It doesn't have a moat. And I think you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. You want to sell products that have a moat, meaning that like it's like unique to that. Because if you're selling like balancing pH gummies, you can say that your brand's balancing pH gummies are the ones that people should buy. And then even if they can see the same thing on maybe TikTok Shop and Amazon, they're going to associate the creative that they saw on Facebook with the product you're selling because when they tap on the creative on the video, it goes to your product. So that allows you to price it for higher and that allows you to actually get people to buy from you. Whereas if it's something like this where people are just buying like the actual item itself and not the desired outcome, it's that they don't care about where they're buying it from. It's just about like, what do I get the brighter price on, right? So I'm gonna have to put some filters on here to help find some stuff. These are just random filters by any means. You don't need to copy these exact filters, but let's see here. So we're gonna focus on health products. We're gonna focus on conversions. Last 30 days is fine. English language, ad format doesn't matter, and then this doesn't matter either. And here's a little side note: if you sort by 6-second view rate, for some reason you get more dropshipping products. Okay, that's not bad. I actually know this one, so I think I would definitely recommend it. Not a good creative, but it seems like a good product. Me, every time the cramps start cramping too much. Okay, so I'm thinking here, like, what could this be? What does this mean? Let's look into it a little bit because I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Okay, so the thing with this TikTok platform doesn't give you too much context. So lucky enough, I kind of already know what this product is. This is a great product. I actually like this product a lot because, like, for example, this store doesn't know what they're doing because it's not really branded that much. They have like a bunch of just like pain products, but this is a great product because it is a problem-solving product. It has a wow factor and it can be sold based off of what it solves and not what it actually is. Now, the last thing I would do to validate this product, which I can't do right now, the last step is on my phone, but let's say it's a product like this to where I didn't find it on Callow data, so I don't see all the existing content. I would then head over to my phone, go to TikTok, look up the product in different keywords. So I'll look up the keyword of menstrual heating and vibrating pad. I'll look up vibrating pad. I'll look up menstrual pad, heating pad, period, cramp pad. I'll just switch around the keywords and see all the available content I can find. And if I find a lot of videos in which I call untapped UGC, being videos that have a lot of likes, maybe they're not being ran as ads, or videos that I just feel are good videos that have like decent engagement and organic, natural looking videos that I can use for inspiration for my ads, I will go ahead and then want to test that product, right? So ideally, when you are validating a product that is not found on Callow data, the main advice I can give you guys is try and validate it using TikTok, just by looking it up and seeing all the existing content. Because remember, guys, and you're gonna hate me for saying this again, but you don't have winning products, you have winning creatives. And you will be ripping a lot of this content online, meaning you are stealing it, which ethics are out of the picture with that one, but you will be ripping a lot of the content online when you're testing these products. So remember, it's about the creatives. You're gonna have a shitty product and amazing creatives and it will print. You can have the best product out there and shit creatives and it will not work. There's a huge, crazy difference between the two. So I highly recommend you guys focus more on the creative side of things. So the next part about the week-to-week breakdown of the timeline you guys want to follow when doing the branded dropshipping model is going to be store optimization and store setup and testing. So I could make literally the whole video about this. I've seen other videos online where people do like a walkthrough of like every little thing and they like take their little mouse and they go on the computer and they go, okay, drag and drop this here, put this here, do this, put these terms of service. But there are a million other YouTube videos like that, and I might get more views if I be like everyone else and I show you guys the little intricate things you need to do, but I know what I wish I was told when I started out, because I already knew, like, and most of you guys already know, like, you can just look up how to add images or product images to your store, how to do this, how to do that. But not a lot of people talk about what you want your layout to actually look like. And guys, newsflash, you don't need to innovate. You can just emulate other people. Websites literally all look the same. And there's a certain type of template I've been emulating ever since I started ecom that has always been working for me. That's made me over $30 million. This section, I'm gonna keep it super short, super clean. I'm gonna show you some stores. Honestly, maybe I'll probably just show you one. Show you exactly how you guys wanna make your store look like this so your brand can actually stand out and be good. Now, first things first is, guys, you need to realize that no one is going to your homepage. So even though this store has a decent homepage, no one's going to it. You only want to focus on your product page. And side note, guys, this store does like over 60K a day right now, so they're crushing it. Over here, you can see it's pretty straightforward. They have the name, Pilates Reformer Set, nothing too crazy. One thing I would recommend is you put your brand name in front of your product title. So it would be like Lano Fit and then Pilates Reformer Set. Price point's good. And then obviously this is not on mobile, so let me see if I can get this on mobile actually. There we go. Now we're on mobile. As you can see, pretty straightforward stuff. Buy now buttons, product images, which we'll talk about very quickly here. They have the see results in 30 days or your money back, which is what we were talking about earlier. Order by midnight, get guaranteed free gifts. So this is a really good offer, and we'll talk about this shortly here. Very basic, before and after is what you'll target. Like this type of stuff is honestly like AliExpress basic, and then they have like this thing right here that a lot of people do. And then there are FAQs at the bottom and then reviews. So guys, this is like not rocket science. This is why I didn't want to make a 1 hour thing about just this, because it's so simple. As you can see, like this is basically just copy and paste from Amazon, but just summarized on the below the fold. But this is where the real magic happens, up here. So when someone loads up the website, that's what we call above the fold. So this is all above the fold. Anything below this point down here is what we consider below the fold, and that is everything along the lines of all the stuff that they have down here. Now, don't get me wrong, the below the fold over here is pretty important because you're showing the before and afters, you're showing the product in motion, and like it's cool. And I could sit here and lie to you guys and say this is gonna make or break it, but it's not. It really isn't. This is what's gonna make or break the product test, and that is what we call the above the fold. Now, this is everything that the customer sees right when they load the website, and these guys made it very clear that they have a unique offer. So if we zoom in here, we can see that They have 4 free gifts included, being a $40 gift card, a sweat belt, Pilates sock, and training videos in series. So these are like, that probably amounts to a couple bucks in extra cogs. But because people load up the website and they see that they have like all this extra stuff, it gets people to buy versus them buying from other places. And they also have it down here as well. It's all the stuff that the people could buy with. So this is the most important part about building your own website. And guys, remember, when it comes to websites, all that matters is the product page, is making sure that when the customer loads the website, above the fold, you show everything they need to see in order to articulate what your offer and product is. One thing that these guys aren't doing that I've done before that has made me a shit ton of money is in one of the first product photos, I like to include some sort of before and after, because most of the products I sell support that. So over here, you can see they have a before and after. They can honestly just make this a product photo and make it maybe their 3rd or 4th photo. That will help them boost their conversion rate, because again, why are people buying this? They're buying this so they can have a better body. Pinpoint why people are buying it and make it very clear there. But honestly, guys, just by taking this website and emulating how they have their product page set up, that is more than enough for you guys in terms of like the store setup and optimization to go ahead and do this on your own. I don't have to make a 3-hour video on showing you how to scroll, make a 3-hour video on how to set this all up on the Shopify, because there's already videos out there, and Shopify literally has like, I think it's like 40 to 50 hours of free content talking about how to use their platform. So this video isn't for that. I'm not sponsored by Shopify. I'm not doing this for Shopify. I'm telling you guys, this is what you want your store to look like if you want to make money in this space. And again, as you can tell, it's not crazy. It's not like this particular store is made in such a specific way and that's why they're making money. No, if you look at their ad library, you can see that they have a lot of content coming out. They have a very branded feel. They have a product that sells a shortcut. They have a clear identified brand offer, and they have a unique price point and offer behind everything. And that's why they're making money. It's not because their store is pretty. But again, this is a great example of what I think is an amazing store. And the numbers don't lie. If you go to Shop Hunter, these guys are doing around $100K a day right now, which is amazing. These are great results. Here's another store I can show you guys as well, Hey Shape. This is a shapewear store that I truly admire. These guys, they're around 2 million a month right now. If we go to view products, pick a random product, view on store, you can see that they have their own taste to it. But if we go to inspect, same thing, guys, same thing. Above the fold, BBL shorts, you can see that they have their offer. They use Afterpay, which is pretty solid. Customer reviews. We use Vitals. The app Vitals is one of my favorite apps for reviews. It's a 40-in-1 app. I highly recommend it. They have this. This is pretty good. This is in feed. This is not needed when you're testing products. And then they have below the fold, which is like literally like not much, right? They're using Luke's, by the way. So this is Luke's if you want to use the same app as them, but I recommend Vitals. Vitals being like the word vitals, like VITALS, I think, something like that. But long story short, I'm not gonna put too much stress on this part of the video because I know it's not gonna make or break the store. I truly believe that the most important thing you can get out of watching videos like this is not knowing what to focus on, but it's knowing what not to focus on. The thing you guys don't wanna focus on is bullshit like setting stuff up like this, setting stuff up like this, having the best description possible. Those things aren't gonna make you more money. If your price point is good, if your offer is good, and you have a good product that solves a problem, has a wow factor, and ironically is a shortcut, you have a good brand catalyst and you have good content coming in, you will make the money. You having that in-store scrolling section like this isn't going to depict whatever you make money or not. Yes, it's cool when you start to scale and those are the type of things you want to focus on, but starting out is not that important. Now, weeks to 5 and 8 are usually going to be centered around actually running your ads. So increased traffic and optimization. Now, what is our media buying strategy? How do we run ads? This is a question I've been asked a lot, and there's 2 ways I could have approached this, right? I could sit here, open up Facebook Ads Manager and show you exactly how we do it, or I can just tell you. And I've really realized that our scaling strategy, our testing strategy is so simple that I literally can just tell you and you guys can write it down and that's more than enough. And I've watched every single other media buying video out there. I already know what scaling strategies people do. I already know what people recommend, and I can tell you for a fact, the more simple you are, the better it will work. The more niched you are, it doesn't really matter. A lot of people have like unique strategies, like doing lookalike audiences, interest-based targeting, split bidding, and all this stuff. But it doesn't make the difference. And guys, this is coming from someone who's been media buying and running ads for like over 5 years. I've tried everything. I've literally done the interest targeting, the split bidding. I was one of the first advertisers on TikTok, so I used all their platform features, and I can tell you for a fact, it doesn't really matter. As long as your creative is good, as long as your offer is good, as long as your product is good, you will make money. Now, what is our media buying strategy? For my beginners out there, media buying is referring to running ads on Facebook and TikTok. How you do the branded dropshipping approach is very simple. If you haven't picked it up by now, we're just finding products, we're launching ads with them, and we're making a brand with those ads. Now, ads is a topic for another day, and I actually have another video that is about, I think, 50 minutes long, where I go in depth, everything ad related in terms of creatives, finding good creatives and making good creatives. And I'll plug that video on the screen here so you guys can see. If I don't, just go through my channel. It's obviously, you'll see it's like something about like drop shipping and ads. The media buying strategy we follow is very simple. We do a very, very simple CBO strategy. This goes for TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever platform we run on. And I'll talk about selecting the right platform shortly here. But we literally just have the most simple media buying strategy out there. It is a CBO, $50 budget, one ad set in the CBO, absolutely no targeting except the country. So we focus US only, US or top 4, whatever you want to do. If you're in the US, I say stay in the US, and I'll explain why here in a second, but US or top 4, and then we put 5 creatives in that campaign. And every time we launch a new batch of 5 creatives, we do it in a new CBO. That's it. There's literally no targeting. There's no split testing. There's no bidding. There's no reason for me to get on here and like screen share and show you that, because it's not going to make a difference, because it's so simple. And there's a reason why we keep it so simple, guys. The simpler your media buying strategy is, the easier it is to see consistency. Look, you might start off with interest and bidding and maybe get super lucky because that specific interest is doing well or that specific bid is doing well, but it will not stay consistent. And trust me, been in this game for a while, I can tell you that is a fact. Guys, the people I know who are spending the most on Facebook, who are spending the most on TikTok and making the most money in this game, keep their media buying strategy so goddamn simple. The simpler it is, the more money you'll make. Don't overcomplicate it, because it doesn't need to be a complicated part of the business. If someone told me when I started my e-commerce journey that like, hey dude, like just keep it simple, keep your media buying simple, I would have been way further than I am now. I've been put down the wrong path when I started my e-commerce journey. I listened to the wrong people. I'm not going to say any names, but I listened to like these crazy media buying strategies and these crazy tactics, and I would try it myself and it wouldn't work, and I'd blame my media buying strategy. And I would stick to selling the same shitty products without a branded approach, with trying new media buying strategies, thinking it was gonna work, but it never did, and now I know why. And that's why I'm here, to tell you guys what to focus on and what not to focus on. And one of the things that you don't want to shine light to is a complex media buying strategy. Now, in terms of what platform you guys want to launch on, I have to be super straightforward here. Facebook is the best one. It's a really cold cut and clear answer. Facebook is the best. Facebook is king. And when that does change, I'll let you guys know. But as of now, in 2025, Facebook is the best platform to advertise on. The only issue with running ads on Facebook is getting your accounts banned. It happens a lot. A lot of people get their accounts banned. They try and do it the traditional way and it gets banned. And in the branded dropshipping and just overall dropshipping world, having accounts banned is a very normal thing. It happens to the best of us. Like, for example, having agency accounts, having bot assets, and doing all these complicated things are probably the most complex part of the business. And I don't want to make this super, super advanced and super complex, because when we get into like Facebook scaling, keeping your ad accounts alive, buying business managers and doing all that, I lose a lot of my beginner audience. But for my people out there that want the best Facebook assets, they want the best agency accounts, and they need the best resources when it comes to their Facebook ads, be sure to click the link below and schedule a call with me and my team. We actually give away in our community all my Facebook asset strategies, the Facebook asset team we use, the same agency accounts we use, and all that. And just to give my beginners a rundown of what I'm talking about, when it comes to Facebook, it's not as simple as just launching ads on an account you make by going to facebookads.com. You ideally want to use agency accounts. So these are agencies that, you know, like have large business managers, and they rent accounts out to guys like you and me. So you can use their ad accounts and leverage their BM spend, which again might be a little complicated for my beginners. And more importantly, you want to use BMs that aren't owned by you. So there's providers out there that basically sell business managers. They sell BMs, they sell profiles, they sell basically everything you need in order to launch a Facebook ad. You can buy them and launch them on proxies and VPNs and essentially launch your ads like that. Now I know this might be very complicated for my beginners and it might overwhelm a lot of people, but I will be honest with you guys, this is the most complex part of the business. And if you can just, you know, buckle up and figure it out, you will be fine. Like once you get this part, you'll be fine. It's not that hard really, once you start to like lock in and really get it down. But again, guys, going back to the media buying strategy we follow, it's super simple. All it is literally just one CBO. We do 5 creatives in that CBO, no targeting, and that's it. And every time we launch a new batch of 5 creatives, it's in a new CBO. Now, what makes the way we test unique and branded is with the brand catalyst model, it's very important you guys focus on doing what we call progressive creative overload. And this is a strategy that I trademarked back in 2023 when I started to teach people how to do dropshipping the right way. Now, what is progressive creative overload? That is essentially launching 5 new creatives every single day. So like the commonality of most dropshippers is they tell people to test products in a super stupid method. What that method is, and you'll probably hear this all over the internet, is getting 15 to 20 creatives, or maybe even 5. I've seen people say 5 creatives, launch them, see how it does. If it does well, scale it. If it doesn't, cut it. But the issue is they don't realize that it was the creative that got the product to work and not the product itself. Guys, ask anybody who is actively scaling a product with dropshipping. Doesn't matter if it's traditional or branded dropshipping. There's always going to be a handful of creatives on their ads manager that is getting all the spend. Now, hypothetically, if they weren't going to launch those creatives, they would not be spending the amount that they are right now. So it all boils down to launching the right creatives. That's why we follow a progressive creative overload method. What that means is day 1, we launch 5 creatives for the product. Day 2, we launch another 5. Day 3, we launch another 5. Let's say by day 3, the batch on day 1 has no sales. It's not doing well. We cut it. Maybe the batch on day 2 has a couple sales. Maybe it's breaking even. We'll keep it on if it's breaking even. Day 4, we'll launch another batch. Day 5, we'll launch another batch, and so on and so forth until we're 150 in the red or we're millions in profit. That's literally the formula, guys. A lot of people think that you need to stop launching creatives once you see success. No, when your product starts to work, you need to launch more creatives. That's the name of the game, because it tells you that, hey, there's demand for this product, there's demand for this marketing angle. Launch more creatives, put more fire in the fuel, and scale up. Guys, behind the 60K day I showed you when we started this video, we're launching anywhere between 25 to 30 creatives a day. Creative output is the whole business. And when you're building a brand, it's built on the creative level rather the website level. That's why when I showed you guys the brand before about Lionel Fit being the Pilates board brand, you might not at first glance think that is a multi-million-dollar business just by looking at their website. But trust me, when you look at their creative library, when you see all the unique content they have coming in, it damn well is a multi-million-dollar operation. So creatives are huge, and we really base around our product tests with creatives. So just to summarize that, we do wide open CBOs, 5 creatives per CBO. We launch a new batch of 5 creatives every single day. As we're launching more creatives, we're cutting the ones that are not doing well for the past day to 2 days. And we're making sure to keep the ones that are break even alone. We leave those alone because sometimes they do turnkey profit over time. And we launch creatives until we're 150 in the red or we're a millionaire. And the thing is, most of the time, if a product doesn't work, you're gonna become 150 in a red within 3 to 4 days. So you are giving these products enough time to really see if it works or not. Weeks 9 to 12 of your branded dropshipping journey typically will consist of scaling and systems, like I said earlier. A lot of people have this ideology of when you're scaling a product, there's just so much that goes into like getting more revenue, whereas they don't understand that's the easiest part of the whole process. In the branded dropshipping model, we are only doing paid media. We're only using ads to get sales. We're not doing any organic marketing, any influencer marketing, at least yet. The thing is, when it comes to the paid media scaling side of things, it is the most easiest thing in the world. If your product is good, if your creatives are good, and your campaigns are profitable, it is as simple as just spending more on ads to make more back. When I started my dropshipping journey, I went down the rabbit hole of finding the best way to scale your campaigns, meaning that people will tell me, hey, do 20% bumps, or duplicate your budgets, or make more of the same campaign at higher budgets, and all these other BS strategies. But at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is spending more to make more. If you're spending $100 a day to bring back $200 in sales, in theory, you can spend $1,000 a day to bring back $2,000 in sales, right? And so on and so forth. So for example, when you see a dropshipping store, let's say doing 1 to 2K a day at 30% margins, meaning the campaigns are spending well and you had a good ROAS, it's not hard to take that same store to 10K a day, because the only thing you need to do is just spend more on the existing ads. We do have a little bit of a strategy we like to follow that does help us a lot when it comes to scaling up these campaigns, and it gives us a little bit more clarity because we know that the scaling wasn't the thing that made the campaign tank in the first place. All right, guys, this is just a harsh reality of scaling ads with dropshipping, and that is a lot of the times when you do scale up, what happens is your margin goes down and your ROAS does go down as well, right? Because there's a direct correlation to the more you spend, the higher your CPA will be, meaning your cost per acquisition, meaning how much you're spending per customer, right? So you want to find a way to be able to scale these campaigns without basically losing your profitability. So the strategy we like to follow, guys, is pretty simple. Assuming that your campaigns are doing well, which they should be if you followed everything right. A lot of people say if something does well, you just dupe it into higher budgets budgets, I advise against that because the smartest thing you can do is slowly scale up your campaign budgets. And if it holds up over a couple days, then you can make your duplications. I do have a whole video going into ads and everything, but just to give you guys a quick rundown. So assuming everything is going well, you do want to make those vertical bumps is what we call them. So let's say day one, your campaign is spending $50. It brings back, let's say 100 profitably. Day two, maybe it brings back like 120. Now you know that this campaign and these creatives are doing good. So essentially all you need to do is just bump that campaign by 20%. So if it's at 50, now I'll be at 60. Say day three comes around, and again, guys, this is all hypothetical. Let's say day three comes around and it's still holding up. All you need to do is bump the campaign again upwards to, I think it's 72 because it's 20% of 60. And then if it holds up towards the end of the day, you can do actually 2 to 3 bumps a day. So that's upwards of 80. Say day four comes around and it's still holding up. You can bump it maybe 2 to 3 more times. And let's say after like 4 days, it's still holding up. This campaign's doing great. You can go ahead and make 2 duplicates at a larger budget. Typically, I'd recommend doing $250 per campaign. Now, a lot of people might wonder, Samir, why are you doing 2 duplicates instead of 1? I call this the bad apple strategy, to where the ads manager is very finicky. And sometimes when you do like a what we call a horizontal dupe, meaning horizontal scaling is when you duplicate a campaign, you might see the campaign shit the bed. It's happened a lot before, especially when you're really aggressive. So when we do 2 campaigns, both at the same budget with the same creatives, exactly the same, what happens is out of the 2 campaigns, one of them in theory is going to perform worse than the other. We call that the bad apple, and we cut that campaign and focus on scaling the one that does well. And like the logical reason behind this, guys, is each time you make a duplicate or a scale, what happens is the campaign gets back into re-optimization and in a relearning phase. So there's a small chance that when it gets back into relearning, it learns unprofitably. And I know it sounds so stupid and so weird, but trust me, I've been doing this for a long time. I can tell you for a fact that the bad apple strategy works. And that's ideally all you guys need to do. Remember, the ideology behind scaling in dropshipping is literally just spending more to make more. If everything is going well with your offer, your product, and your creatives, ideally, if you could spend $100 to bring back $200, you should be able to spend $10,000 to bring back $20,000, right? So whenever you see these crazy results online, for example, me showing you guys a 60K day at the start of this video, just know behind that 60K day, there's probably around 20 to 30K in ad spend. Nevertheless, since we are spending a lot on ads, we're making a lot back and we are still super profitable. Like for example, that 60K day, I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure we're operating at around 30% margins, which is still pretty good. Now, systems is a huge part of this whole process, and a lot of people overlook how important it is to set up the right systems for actually building out your branded dropshipping store. I can make a whole video on this that can exceed multiple hours, but as always, guys, if you want more in-depth one-on-one help with your systems, if you already have a dropshipping store that's doing well, be sure to click the link below, schedule a call with me and my team. But moving forward, just to give you guys a little bit of a rundown, in this micro section, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the team members you wanna hire, what type of things you wanna make SOPs for, and kind of where your mindset needs to be as a founder in order to make this thing work. Now, notice how I said founder. A lot of the people that get into the dropshipping game think of dropshipping as like this method of making money online. They think of it as like a method, as if it's like reselling sneakers or something. And whereas there are people who think like that and still see some success, the people who really crush it in this business model view it as a real business. You are a founder, you're a business owner, and this is your business, this is your baby that you need to take care of and make sure it keeps making you money. Now, just by adopting that quick mindset, you're gonna really get a better understanding of how to scale and systemize this business model. Ideally, the dropshipping and branded dropshipping route can be broken down into a couple core components. You have the marketing side of things, which is creatives, media buying, and everything along that side. You have the fulfillment aspect of it, which is like dealing with suppliers and making sure your orders are being shipped out on time. And you have the customer service aspect of it, making sure your customers are happy. These are really the 3 main things of the business model. Lucky for you guys, these 2 are super easily delegated to where, honestly, I think a 3rd grader could do it, right? So when it comes to the customer service side of things, you could, like I said earlier, you could easily hire Filipino reps off of Upwork to help run your customer service. I say Filipino for a reason. I explained that earlier in the video, but guys, they're just honestly the best. When you're running your customer service, it's really straightforward. And lucky for you guys, a lot of these people that you're gonna find on Upwork and Fiverr have already been doing this for a long time, so they already know what they're doing. The only KPIs and metrics you guys wanna look at when monitoring customer service is gonna be your chargeback rate and your refund rate. You wanna make sure you're giving out refunds, right? The best customer service teams on the planet just give out refunds. If someone asks for a refund, just give it to them. It's not gonna kill your business. And 2, your chargeback rate. You wanna make sure your chargeback rate is low. Again, this is a little bit more complex, and I'll go more into this later in the video, but just to give you guys a rundown, in dropshipping, you should be at least under a 1% chargeback rate. So if you're over that, that means either your product is horrible, your shipping times are horrible, or your customer service isn't where it needs to be. Now, again, customer service is one of the easiest parts to delegate, so I'm not gonna waste your time by going over that. You can easily make job posting on Upwork and have someone manage it for you. Now, when it comes to the fulfillment side of things, a lot of people overlook how important it is to systemize this and actually hire out for it. Now, with dropshipping fulfillment, it's not hard because obviously like you're not fulfilling your own inventory. You have a supplier that does it, but you should have somebody that's overlooking basically the product quality. They're overlooking how like the shipping times, making sure everything's sorted with the supplier, making sure your costs don't rise, making sure that everything is basically dialed in with the supplier. And remember guys, as you scale up, what's gonna happen is you might have issues with your product that you're gonna need to fix. And it's really smart to have a fulfillment manager in place that helps you kind of work through this turmoil. Now, the best thing that you guys can do, and I highly recommend anyone watching this who already has a brand of dropshipping store that's doing well, is make your head customer service your fulfillment manager as well. I know this is like seems like a small little hack or tweak that you can do in your business, but it makes all the difference. Your head customer service, meaning the person who's overlooking your customer service team, or honestly your first customer service rep, can be a hybrid role into someone who overlooks your fulfillment, makes sure your shipping times are good, and communicates between your supplier. This is a really easy role to hire for because literally any rep you hire on Upwork could also do your fulfillment manager role for you, and it makes your life a lot easier. So honestly, if you just think about it logically, guys, that one hire basically encompasses these two huge parts of the business. And obviously, as you scale up and you get more orders, you're gonna need to hire more reps. And lucky for you guys, if you hired the right customer service manager and fulfillment manager, they're gonna do it for you and it becomes a really seamless process, right? Guys, a quick little thing on hiring too, because I know a lot of people watching this might be pre-existing business owners. This is coming from someone who has a team of over 40 people and makes over $12 to $15 million a year. And I can tell you confidently, the easiest way to hire is from the top to the bottom, meaning you don't wanna hire from the bottom up. So for example, when you're hiring your customer service rep, the first customer service rep you hire, make them a manager, right? Make them a fulfillment manager, make them a customer service manager. So when you hire reps under them, you're working downwards, right? I like to call these delegation ladders. Same thing with the marketing side of the business. When you hire an editor, a lot of the times it's even smarter to hire a creative strategist. So then the creative strategist handles the editing and under them, you'll have editors. And the main reason you guys want to do this is for a seamless automated process. What I mean by seamless automated process is when you have a ladder, what we call the delegation ladder running in your business, it's gonna make it a lot easier for people to keep other people accountable. For example, in my companies, when my customer service reps are lacking, which happens a lot, and they're not responding to emails on time or there's an issue with their email responses, I'm not the one that's putting them in check. It's my customer service and fulfillment manager. Same thing when my editors aren't making videos that are up to date and making good videos, who's putting them in check? That's my creative strategist. Same with the media buying side of things. So this goes for any business. I know this is supposed to be a brand of dropshipping tutorial, but this is for everybody. Make sure you hire from the top down and your life will be so much easier as a business owner. Now, moving forward here, guys, we're gonna go to the last part of the systemizing and delegation of this business model, and that is gonna be the CMO, the marketing, and everything that goes into like actually bringing in the traffic. Now, this is a very hard part of the business model for me to explain. And it's not because I don't have experience in it, because obviously, as you guys can tell, I really do what I say. It's because it's so different for every case, right? And it really depends on what type of style of content is working for your business, right? I'll give you guys a really good example that's gonna help you understand this. Earlier in 2024, we had a brand that was doing really well with AI style content. AI style content was literally taking over. We experimented with it and it just ended up outperforming everything. If you guys don't know what these AI videos are, I'm gonna put it on the screen so you can see. So it's basically like made with Midjourney and CapCut and 11 Labs. These are some tools that we use to slap these videos together and basically portray like this aggressive style of ad. This ad was absolutely crushing it for us and all these types of videos were just outperforming everything, right? So we had to make hires around that. So we hired an editor just to edit AI videos. We hired a copywriter just for AI videos. And we hired a creative strategist, which is already working for us to kind of manage these two guys. Now, the thing is, that was only applicable to that business at that time, right? Because for example, if you hired the AI editor and AI copywriter for a business that doesn't benefit off of AI content, it's not gonna work. And the reason I'm saying that before getting into like the actual nitty gritty of it is because I don't want you guys to take what I'm saying too literally and set it up in your business and have it blow up in your face because it didn't apply to your style of content. So remember guys, your marketing team and your marketing side of the business is really dependent on the style of content that is working for you at the time. So what I will recommend is rule of thumb, you ideally want to have a creative strategist and an editor. Those are the two main roles that need to be hired when it comes to the marketing side of things because they will help run the business for you. Because if you think about it, at the end of the day, guys, as you can tell from what I said earlier, you don't have winning products, you have winning creatives. One of the best things one of my mentors told me was, you don't scale ads, you scale content, right? So when a specific ad is working, make variations of it, make more ads like that. That simple system encompasses everything we do on a marketing standpoint. Ideally, when you're starting out your branded dropshipping journey and you're starting to make money and you're starting to see ads that are doing well, it's your job as a founder to take that information, meaning like what is doing well, give it to an editor or give it to a creative strategist to make more variations of that. And variations can be as simple as just taking the same video and switching out the hooks, switching out the music, whatever it may be, or they could be as complex as building new scripts around stuff that is similar. Now, again, guys, I have a whole entire video going into ads for dropshipping, and I'll put the video on the screen so you can see. I don't want to overlap too much information because it will get mundane, but guys, just remember, when it comes to your marketing side of this business, you have a creative strategist and an editor, but in some cases, you might have separate editors or separate copywriters for a specific style of content that works. Now, someone who's watching this that might have just seen initial success with the branded dropshipping business model and they want to start hiring out, remember, it's really important you guys hire from the top to the bottom. So I'd recommend finding a creative strategist first that can handle your editing and then getting an editor under them. A really simple way of finding creative strategists and finding editors, because you can't find good ones on Upwork, is actually Twitter. Now, I get into how important Twitter is for the business model in other videos, and we talk a lot about it in our community. But really quick, guys, Twitter is literally a game changer for anything on the marketing side of the business. You need UGC creators, meaning creators that'll make the videos for you. Make a post on a Twitter. You need a creative strategist, make a post on Twitter. You need editors, make a post on Twitter. For some reason, guys, Twitter is full with marketing people and people that are ready to make content and edit content and even record content for your e-commerce brand. The simplest strategy that we follow for our e-commerce brands is we'll create a separate Twitter for our company. Now, when I say company, I'm actually referring to like a fake agency, because as you know, in this game, you have to keep your products kind of discreet and you have to kind of not show people, which is kind of ironic because in our community, I expose my brands, but that's a side note. The thing is, you want to make sure that you have a fake agency as your Twitter profile, maybe like a UGC agency or some sort of editing agency. So when you make these tweets saying like, hey, looking for hashtag UGC creator, hey, looking for a hashtag editor or a hashtag creative strategist, whatever it may be, you can get people to reach out to you via Twitter and you can close them on DM, maybe hire them for your business or get them on a freelance. There's a lot of things you can do. Nevertheless, it's really important that you guys utilize Twitter for your marketing roles. Now, one small thing as well when it comes to hiring out your marketing roles, just remember that you need to test the waters first before you fully hire people. So for example, with the editor, what we like to do is if we want to hire an editor, we'll pay him maybe like $50 to $100 as a sample rate just to edit some videos. And we tell them what to do. We kind of direct them a little bit, but we have him kind of go out on his own. We'll take those exact videos and we'll launch them on our ads manager. And if they do well, then we know, hey, he's a good editor, right? Because at the end of the day, you most of the time are not the customer that is buying your product. It's someone else, right? So for example, for our hair care brand, I'm not the target customer. It's someone else. Or like for all our other brands, I'm usually not the target customer. So my opinion rarely matters in this whole equation. It's whatever the data shows. And if the data shows that these creators are doing well, that this editor made, fuck it, we have to hire that editor. The whole point of the marketing process is to find stuff that the data relates to. All right, now in this part of the video, I want to go over store building, but I'm going to do it in a really interesting way. The thing is, you guys know there's a million other tutorials out there of like building stores one-to-one, but I wanted to use this part of the video to actually show you a tool that I've been recently using and I've seen a lot of success with. So we're going to dive into the computer here really quick. All right, now in this part of the course, guys, I'm going to teach you guys how to build a store. The thing is, there are a million other store building tutorials out there. Like everyone and their mom has a tutorial on how you guys can build a dropshipping store on Shopify and like all the basic stuff. But I wanted to use this part of the course to show you something that I've actively been doing in my businesses and something that I've honestly been gatekeeping for a while and I feel kind of guilty of it. Now, this is a tool I've been using in literally all my dropshipping stores and I've seen a lot of my students use it as well and see a lot of success with it. So let's just hop on the tool right here. As you guys can see, it's called Atlas. It's an AI store builder. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people who've been following me for a while know that I've said this before and I'll say it again. If you're not using AI in e-com in 2025, you will be left behind. AI is just revolutionizing the game. And the only issue up until this point was there was no AI store builder that I felt actually was worth the time to talk about. And on top of that as well, there was no AI store builder I found that actually converted. For some reason, all the other ones I've used, and this is coming from someone who does the business model, I have seen no success with. Like they literally just don't convert. For some reason, people don't buy from it. However, this is the only one I've actually seen work. And it's actually a blessing that I can show this to you guys because I'm assuming a lot of you guys haven't seen this before. Now, the thing is, the reason why this one works really well is because it actually gives you like bundling. So if you get the higher plans on this app, you get bundling and you get a lot of other stuff that other ones don't give. Makes the process a lot easier, and we've literally been using this for all our product tests, and it's been a huge game changer. Before I even show you guys this, if you want to sign up for this app, use the link below to get a discount. and it is literally a game changer. Links in the description. For the sake of this video, the importing process takes a little bit long, like 20-30 minutes. So what we're just gonna do is do it on an existing product. Sorry about that, guys. So the thing is with this tool, it's pretty straightforward. The reason I'm showing it is because it actually works. So I wanted to kind of just show you guys behind the scenes of some of the tools we use. Over here, you can select the photo. So after you import the link, you can just put the photos here, select the photos you want. The store name will kind of auto-populate, so whatever you want it to be. Over here, assume those bloom fresh, so it's pretty cool. Like, it'll also like auto-populate a pricing, literally everything, guys. It makes it so much easier. As you can see, the whole store just populated here. Now, the thing is, if you do this on a store that's like a URL link that isn't already on your store, it takes maybe like 10-15 minutes, if that. We're on a time crunch right now. So yeah, that's basically what we use to build the store. All you have to do is press import and import store. Just like that, you'll sit back and wait, and ideally within a couple minutes, it will be imported onto your store and ready to use. So that's what we've been using for all our product tests in 2025. It just makes the whole process a lot easier, and more importantly, allows us to focus on what is more important, being our creatives. And you can view the whole store here. It's gonna go over to the admin. That's gonna be loading here, and it's taking its time. But this is essentially what it's gonna look like. This is the demo store. So you have a whole bundle selection here, which is pretty solid. I recommend anyone who's testing products, make sure you have a bundler. And it's very straightforward, as you guys can tell. It definitely does convert, and I can speak from experience. This stuff is not easy to make, and whoever put this together was definitely knew what they were doing. So yep, that's what we use for store building. It's so funny, guys, because back in the day when I would teach people about store building, that's like a 2 to 3 hour course right there. But nowadays with AI tools, I can quickly show you how to do it in literally just 5 minutes. Now, some other quick things I want to go about in this module so you guys have the full knowledge of everything needed for this business model is one, going to be payment processing. Most of the people watching this, you guys can process on Shopify payments, which is pretty straightforward to set up. You can just do it on the settings when you create your store. The thing about Shopify payments is pretty straightforward, nothing crazy. Most of the people will get approved for it. If you don't get approved for it, or you're having issues with payment processing, we do have a lot of solutions for this in our community where we give some of our bank partnerships and whatnot. So a little bit more technical stuff, but if you're having issues with payment processing, I got you. Customer service tools. Now, like I said, having the right customer service rep or manager in your business will literally automate this whole process. But just so you guys know, we use Zendesk across all of our brands, and we highly recommend you use Zendesk as well. I have no affiliation with them. For analytics and tracking, this is one of my favorite things to talk about because it's so goddamn important when it comes to the media buying side of things. We use, and we proudly use, Triple Whale. Again, I have no affiliation with Triple Whale, but it's one of my favorite platforms out there. Essentially, Triple Whale will give you day-to-day margin tracking so you can see what your margin is for your brand. For example, let's say you spent 100 on ads, you brought back 200 in sales, and you had $50 in COGS and a little bit in transaction fees and whatnot. Triple Whale will basically encompass all that information together and let you know your day-to-day margin, so you know how profitable you are. And on top of that as well, Triple Whale actually has a UTM feature, so you can add UTMs, which are basically like customized ad links to all your ads, so you get 100% tracking, which is unbelievably so important when you scale. In terms of Shopify apps we like to use, just to give some honorable mentions, Vitals is literally my favorite app. Vitals is a 40-in-1 Shopify app. I have no affiliation with them, and it's the app I've been using since I started Shopify. I mean, you get reviews, you get bundlers, you get everything in that app. It's one of my favorite apps. Second app, obviously, is going to be Atlas, the one I just showed you guys. Now, if you guys want to use Atlas or sign up to Shopify using Atlas, you actually get a huge discount. So just click the link below, and we got you guys. Besides that, guys, there's not really any other apps we use. Honestly, with Vitals, you have everything you need. And then if you start your journey with Atlas, you literally have, again, everything you need. So just with those two apps, you can save a lot of money by not wasting your time and energy and money on other apps that you don't need to use. So those are my two favorite. I want to go over some common issues that arise as people scale this business model, so you guys kind of know what you're getting into. I wish more gurus shine light on like the problems that arise in this business, but as you guys know, most people don't actually do the business model. So let's say you're scaling up a branded dropshipping store, you're getting into building a full-fledged e-commerce brand, you're ordering inventory, you're doing all this cool stuff. What are some issues you can arise, and what are some issues you can plan for in order to maximize how much money you make and minimize how much money you lose? First thing first is inventory management. Guys, the whole point of you making this product work, making this business model work, is so then you could eventually reinvest the money into getting your own inventory. And lucky for you guys, the suppliers that we give you guys and the methods we teach allow you guys to get this inventory for so goddamn cheap. I mean, take it from me. For the brands I'm scaling right now, because I've been leveraging these same suppliers for years, we basically get a drop shipping pricing structure for US inventory, meaning we have US inventory coming in the US, and we have 3PLs that store this inventory and ship it out. However, we pay per unit sold. the dropshipping pricing structure. So we get all the benefits of having a US-based fulfillment brand, meaning like 2-day shipping times, and we get all the benefits of having a dropshipping pricing structure, meaning like no inventory costs, put together. The only way we're able to do this is because we've leveraged relationship with our suppliers and the same suppliers we give you guys. Now, if you're not an idiot and you know how to negotiate with suppliers, which again, we teach in our community a little bit more in depth, you'll be able to do the same thing once you start to scale. So don't think that like, oh, I'm gonna make money with dropshipping and then I'm gonna spend all that money back into inventory. That's not how it works. If you know what you're doing, you can leverage that consistent order count you're getting every single day with your supplier in order to bring in US inventory for basically free. One issue that can arise is inventory management and tracking. So for example, when you start to get US inventory, it does become a bit of an issue to track how much inventory you have and how much inventory you need in order to stay sustained. Now, lucky for you guys, everyone watching this has stemmed their e-commerce brand from dropshipping. So let's say for the duration of a couple weeks to a couple months, if you had to fall back onto doing the dropshipping model because you don't have US inventory, that's totally fine because your suppliers can support it. That's why for us, let's say we end up scaling really hard and we've totally burned through all our US inventory, we still have our dropshipping supplier that can dropship orders to our customers. The only thing I recommend you guys to do in order to automate this process is before you get US inventory, ideally you should already have a customer service and fulfillment manager. You can just tell this person to keep a close eye on inventory management and work directly with the supplier to make sure you always have US inventory. And that will be completely delegated. The customer service breakdowns happen a decent amount. A lot of the times when you scale up, you might have not enough reps. Sometimes you might not have enough support. Sometimes your reps might quit. This is a common issue that can easily be solved by hiring from the top to the bottom, meaning that instead of just hiring reps and managing them yourselves, you make one rep the manager, or you just hire a manager first and then work downwards so then they can manage everything. Because guys, trust me, customer service is a nightmare and you don't want to manage that. You want to focus all your time on acquiring new customers and focus all your time on the marketing side of things. Payment processing problems arise all the time with Shopify. You might get a Shopify hold, you might get a payment reserve, and even if you're not even using Shopify payments, sometimes you get hit with a reserve. It's very common for beginners to get a Shopify payment reserve. It's like, I think 9 out of 10 people who do this business model have once been hit with the reserve. Now there's a couple ways to go about this. The best way I could say to beat a reserve is just communicate clearly with the Shopify team. You guys, the thing is when you start dropshipping, I highly advise you guys to keep a lot of the money in the bank. Don't go spending it on Lambos and nice watches, because the thing is you might get hit with a reserve and that reserve might hurt your cash flow. Now, don't get me wrong, you'll always get the money that Shopify holds from you. They'll never like not give you the money, but you don't want to be in a position where you can't scale because of the reserve they gave you. So be wary about this and just make sure you're keeping a lot of your profits set aside to deal with reserves when you first start out. Now, as you scale up and you start to make more money, you haven't really have to deal with that. But just in the beginning, no, it's better for you to focus on keeping money aside. Ad account shutdowns are one of the most common things in the e-commerce business. I honestly think that everyone I've talked to in the business model has experienced this at least once in their life, to where it's like their ad account gets shut down and they get cooked. Now, don't worry, because there's a lot of ways to go about this. I will say this though, you guys want to start using agency accounts since day one, because when you start to use agency accounts and you start to get good spend on agency accounts, what's going to happen is you're going to build a relationship with these agencies. And when your ad account gets shut down, or when your business manager goes down, or when any of your Facebook or Meta or even TikTok assets go down, you can ask the agency to help you get it back, and they could leverage insiders or other ways to get it back. We actually give away all our agency connects in our program. So if you want to schedule a call with us because of that, be sure to let us know in the link below. But moving forward here, guys, it's really important you have an agency account and you use them since day one, because when you do, you get a lot more leverage when it comes to these bans that you have to deal with. Section 4 is growing without breaking even. So in this section, we're gonna go a little bit over traffic. We're going over team building, which we kind of already touched on, but I'll kind of wrap that up quite nicely for you guys. And honestly, just what you need to do in order to exit this business model so you have the right ideology in mind when you start. Now, traffic is really easy, but traffic is one of the most important parts of the business model. See, when someone like me thinks about traffic, the first thing I think about is creative systems, because I know what it takes to get profitable traffic. A lot of people have the misconception to where traffic in the business model just means like, what's your media buying strategy? Where are you getting the traffic from? A lot of stuff that is irrelevant to what actually makes money. Whereas the creatives I know matter. And I'll give you guys a great example to where when we have a winning creative on Facebook, that same piece of content, when we put it on TikTok, Snapchat, Pinterest, AppLovin, doesn't matter where we're launching it, will make us a lot of money. Even to the extent to where we'll take vertical videos that are doing well on Facebook and launch them on YouTube, whereas it's a horizontal platform, and it will still make money. Guys, creatives are everything. And the only thing I want to talk about in the traffic part of this video is creative systems. Now, again, guys, I have a whole goddamn video going over this that I'll put on the screen. And we talk about this every single week and one-on-one in our community down below. However, to give you guys a little bit of a rundown, creatives or everything. When you start your branded dropshipping journey, a lot of the times what's gonna happen is you're gonna ideally find a product that has a lot of content out there. Hypothetically, you're gonna take this content for inspiration, meaning you're gonna rip it online and launch it as ads. Ripping is a little bit of a gray topic, and I do have another video where we go over this, but I'm not gonna go too much on it in this video just because it is gray and I wanna protect my account. At the end of the day, it's a very important part of the business model. Now, like I said, guys, hypothetically, when you find a product that's working, essentially you're just taking these videos online, you're ripping them and you're using them as your ads. Now, a lot of the times what happens is people know that from the regular dropshipping model, right? They know they need to steal the videos online and launch them on their own. They get some sales and then they let it scale out. And then basically what's gonna happen is those creatives are gonna fatigue and your product is gonna die. That's what happens in 99% of dropshipping cases. What if I told you that's not the case with branded dropshipping? And the only difference between branded dropshipping and normal dropshipping is the creative systems and creative input you set up when you start to see success. I'll tell you from my experience. When we launch a product and 5 creatives work, let's say we launched 5 creatives, maybe 1 or 2 of them really hit. We're gonna take those 1 or 2, we're gonna make variations of those, probably around 20 to 30 variations, meaning we take that same video, we change the hook, we change the body, we change one simple thing about the video, because what is a variation? A variation is one singular change. Anything above one singular change makes it a completely new video. So ideally, if we change the hook and the CTA being the end of the video at the same time, now that's a new video and that's not a variation. Now, ideally, what we're gonna do is take 1 of the 2 top videos that are doing well in the ad campaign and just make a shit ton of variations of those. Now, once we make our variations, we're gonna launch those, and ideally those do well too, right? So your variations are gonna keep you scaling evergreen. This is where it gets a little bit complicated. You guys wanna spend as much time as possible cultivating new angles and concepts around your creatives. Now, again, I have a whole video going about this, but just make sure when you see a certain angle working, whatever it be, libido or hair growth, it doesn't matter what you're selling, get more videos like that. And the easiest way to do that is not by editing them yourselves, because obviously you want to use CapCut and edit them together, but you also can go to Twitter and look for UGC creators that can make more videos for you, right? And a lot of people overcomplicate this part of the business of getting more content. They think that they need to script it out down to a T and it needs to be amazing copywriting. No, that's not the case. When it comes to getting more content, it's as simple as you just taking the videos that are already doing well, putting those links on a Google Sheet and giving it to new creators to recreate or use for inspo. The best thing you can do for getting new content is literally let creators create, because that's what they do best. Don't try and take over the process of scripting it and making all this crazy complicated thing when it doesn't need to be. The furthest extent we'll go in terms of scripting is sometimes we'll do bullet points, which I'll explain here in a second. But ideally, when you're starting out, all you want to do is just get creators to make videos like the ones that are doing well. You can find these creators on Twitter. You can find them on jointbrands.com, on incense.com, on billow.com. There's so many platforms out there. Some of my favorites are the ones I just mentioned. Also, TikTok Creative Center is really good as well. Another huge component about this business model in terms of like consistently scaling profitable traffic is by having a consistent flow of new concepts coming into your ads manager. So the question arises is, what is new concepts? Concepts can be anything along the lines of a new way of portraying the product. So ideally, if you're doing the branded dropshipping model properly, you're gonna have products that have a lot of different angles, meaning like, for example, if it's a hair care product, you can say, this helps you grow your hair back, or this helps you grow new hair that you never had before, or this helps you look like you're 20 again, or this helps you have celebrity hair care. There's so many different ways of going about it. You can explore new concepts for that particular product that could then arise new scale, right? That's how you keep a product evergreen, by always funneling in new concepts and new creatives. The best way to find new concepts for your product is not only by going to TikTok and seeing what these people are talking about when it comes to your product or other similar products in the industry, but also going to Amazon. Guys, Amazon is goated when it comes to product research, and when it's goated when it comes to creative research as well. When you go to Amazon, simply just find products that are similar, if not the same, to the product you're selling. See what people are talking about in the reviews. See what people are talking about in the comments. See what questions people have, and it's gonna give you a lot of insight on what to target in your creatives. The best example I can give you guys is, let's say you're selling a knee brace product and you found that same knee brace on Amazon, and you see a top review of someone asking like, hey, does this work well with people in the medical industry? And a lot of people are saying like, yeah, you know, I'm on my feet all day because I'm a nurse, blah, blah, blah. And like, they're just medical industry and knee brace going hand in hand. Now, what you can do as a founder and as a good marketer is you can take that knowledge and apply it to a creative. Your creative can then be something along the lines of the best knee brace for nurses in 2025, or I'm a nurse and this knee brace made my 2025 years so much easier. Whatever it may be, you're just making sure that you know the person watching this is a nurse. Because the thing is, guys, to get someone to stop a scroll and buy your product is a lot easier than you think when you can relate to the customer. If you're somebody who is a nurse and has pain in their right knee, and when you're scrolling on TikTok or Instagram at the end of your workday and you see a video that says like, hey, are you a nurse with pain in your right knee? You're gonna watch that whole video and you're most likely gonna buy that product. So the easiest way to win over a conversion is by actually speaking to the customer, speaking their language. A lot of people overlook this. They think, oh, you know, as long as you have a good product, it's fine. No, you need a good product and you need good creatives as well. And good creatives just mean stuff that your customer can relate to. There's been so many times where I've seen a product and I've seen a style of creative that goes hand in hand with that product. And when I combine the two, it just goes crazy. Like for example, when you're selling a men's wellness supplement, for example, you want your creative style to be more so like podcasts, right? Because what is that target demo consuming? Podcast, right? For example, they're probably watching Joe Rogan in their free time or Andrew Huetman, right? And if you can target that same style of content with that same lingo, the same things they're talking about, but plug your product in there, you're gonna find it a lot easier to scale. Now, in terms of team building, we already touched on that, but I just wanna encompass it all together really quickly so you guys have an overview of what it looks like. You have your customer service and fulfillment manager. You have customer service reps under your fulfillment manager. Then on your marketing side, you're gonna have your editor, maybe one or two, just depending on exactly what type of content is doing well for you. For example, if it's compilations, you have editor just for compilations. If it's AI, you have editor just for AI. But ideally, you want one really good editor. And then most importantly, you want 1 to 2 really good creative strategists. A creative strategist will do anything under the lines of managing the editor and flow of content, working hand in hand with the UGC people. So for example, like if you're getting new content constantly coming in, they're going to be working directly with all the people that you get content from. So they're managing all the samples going out and all that great stuff. And then third but not least, they're helping script out and create new concepts that these new UGC people can make. Now, again, I have a video where we go more in depth on the creative side of things. And again, in our community, we talk about this all the time, but those are the main hires you want to make. Now, I need to be honest with you guys, throughout this whole process, you want to have a lot of VAs. Meaning, like for example, I have 3 VAs that work for me full time and they just help me kind of piece everything together. Our creative strategist usually has a VA as well that helps them manage all the samples going in and out. Sometimes we'll even get a VA for our fulfillment manager in case he needs it. Whatever it may be, VAs are kind of like the sticky glue that keeps things together. They do a lot of admin work and they keep the business very smooth. Now, again, guys, it depends on your specific brand. Not everyone's gonna have the same team structure. I've seen guys before where they're really scaling VSLs, meaning like video sales letters. These are just like super long ads. They're really scaling VSLs well. So for them to have like a creative strategist is pretty, it's obsolete. They don't need one, right? So instead, they focus on hiring copywriters, and the copywriters work directly with the editors, and the editors work directly with the media buyers, and it just goes into one big circle, right? So again, it really depends on how your business operates and what style of content is working for you. But the main thing you guys can take away from all this is understand what's your winning style of content and then build a team around that. Now, one of the last things I wanted to go over in this module is going to be finances. Now, this is something I'm not going to shine too much light on, but it would be criminal for me not to even mention it to you guys. Finances and keeping track of your finances is so goddamn important. If you don't have a clear picture of how much money you're making, then to me, you're not making any money. You need to make sure you have a good idea of how much money is coming in and coming out of your business, no matter whatever it be, agency, dropshipping store, doesn't matter. Now, when it comes to day-to-day margin tracking, you need to use platforms like Triple Whale or True Profit so you know how much money you're making. For all my companies, we like to follow a 30% day-to-day rule, meaning our North Star margin is 30% and we want to be at 30% profit every single day. Now, we usually have team costs and stuff that kind of brings that down at the end of the month, but ideally you need to follow some sort of P&L. We give away all our P&L templates in my community, so if you want those, just sign up below. However, to give you guys a little bit of a rundown, one of the most important things you need to track is literally just your fulfillment cost, so your cost, your marketing cost, your team cost, your payment processing cost, your billing cost, so that's all your apps and everything. And last but not least, compare it all to your Shopify revenue. Those are really the main things, but as you guys can tell, it's not the hardest part, it's pretty straightforward. Like you just need to make sure everything you're spending money on, you're keeping track on a Google Sheet. And you'll thank me for this later because not only is this gonna give you a lot of clarity, but it's also gonna help you exit the business, which is the next thing I'm gonna talk about here. Exiting is everything. Guys, you're not gonna play this game of branded dropshipping and e-commerce if you're not going for a big exit. I'm telling you guys, in the dropshipping model, if you do it right, every dollar of profit you make, you can add another $3 to $4 on top of that. Meaning, if you make $1.2 million a year, so that's $100K a month profit, you can sell that same business for upwards of 3.6 to upwards of even $5 million, right? And I know this because I've exited myself, and I know many people that exited as well. And you guys can do the research yourself too. Just go to acquisition.com, websitebrokers.com, flippa.com, and you can see all these e-commerce businesses listed for insane amounts. There's usually a 3 to 5x multiple on your profit for a year-to-year basis. And on top of that as well, if you have something unique about your company, maybe you have good MRR behind it, maybe you have a good SaaS component behind it, you can sell for so much money. Guys, play the big leagues, because the only difference between the people who make millions in this business model, I'm talking about profit, and the people that barely crack 100K profit is literally just their mindset. The people who make millions know that if they do everything right and they follow the right approach, they can sell for millions. Guys, don't neglect the fact that there are people that will buy the store from you. I've exited myself, and I cannot stress how important this is. A lot of you guys are missing out on millions because you're not focusing on the exit. So what does that mean? Make sure your finances are in check. Make sure you have a good team. Make sure you're actually treating it like a real goddamn business. You're a founder. You're not just some random kid that's trying dropshipping to make some money on the side. When you treat this thing like a real business, it's going to pay you like a real business. Remember that. All right, guys, now just to wrap this video up, I want to give you guys some real life examples of some stores that have done this model properly and now are worth multi-millions. So I'm just going to share my screen here, guys, and show you. So this is the first store here, solowave.com. And if you've seen my content before, you've seen I've talked about these guys. This is a dropshipping product that has made so much money. Like, these guys have easily done over 100 million, and you can use Shop Hunter and see all their data themselves there. They've won awards. They really took the branding approach really seriously, and that's what can happen, guys. And I want you guys to remember, don't compare your version 1 to someone's version 100. These guys have been in the space for about like 4 years now. I've been tracking them for a long time, and every single year I see they're growing. They're adding new things. Like, for example, they didn't just get all these awards year 1. They, over time, made money and reinvested it into like getting good PR and building the brand, making the product better. And this is kind of like what I like to call a really good North Star brand, meaning this is what you guys want to strive to be. This company can sell for millions, and they've honestly dominated the space when it comes to red light therapy. But again, great example of what can happen when you guys dial in and really make this business model work. So before anyone comes to you and says, oh, you're crazy for thinking you can, build a multi-million-dollar business from drop shipping online, remember, drop shipping is just a fulfillment method for e-commerce. You're really just an e-commerce founder, and you're going to build a multi-million-dollar business. I know you will. I believe in you. So moving forward here, next one is Vibroscope. This is another great example of a brand that absolutely dominated the space. These guys do multiple 100K days. You can look it up as well. They've absolutely crushing it. They've been alive for a decent amount of time. I think about 4 years as well. Again, they've over time really made their product a lot better. They've customized their product to where it's like super unique than anything else on the market. And on top of that as well, they've really dialed in their creative systems for their marketing. So again, they're worth multi-millions, probably I think around 50 to 100 million around. I don't want to say exactly how much, because a lot of the times these brands can sell for more because they have stuff like, for example, they have MRR here, which really helps them get consistent revenues. But nevertheless, these guys absolutely crush it. And this is a great example of a store that you guys want to strive to be like. Last but not least, this is one of my favorites. And I've talked about this one before, guys. If you guys know, this is heyshape.com. I know I don't advise people to sell clothing or apparel that much, but heyshape.com is an amazing example of a store that took a product like shapewear and built it into a real brand. Guys, these guys were doing like 500 to 600K a day last time I tracked them. You guys can track them as well with Shop Hunter, and you can see they're absolutely crushing it. This is an example of a store that you guys want to strive to be like. They really just dominated it. And I urge everyone watching this to, when you have some free time, take all these brands I'm showing you, put them into ad library, and see their ads, see what type of content's working for them, because that's the type of content that's allowing them to build a multi-million-dollar business, right? So don't neglect the fact that there's real companies out here that have scaled to multi-millions of dollars because of drop shipping. So here we are, guys, literally 2 hours or 3 hours, I don't even know. 3 hours later, I've given you literally everything. The exact framework we use to build real brands with drop shipping. The exact same systems our students have used to build sustainable businesses, from struggling with dropshipping to becoming multi-million-dollar e-commerce founders. But here's the thing, guys, I need to be completely honest with you. You really only have 3 options from here. Option 1 is you literally do nothing. You just watch this video and wasted a bunch of time. Close this video and maybe tell yourself you'll come back to it later. Who knows? And we both know how that usually ends up. 6 months from now, you'll probably be experiencing the same thing, finding yourself watching another dropshipping guide, looking for that secret formula formula. Option 2 is take everything I've taught you in this video and implement it for yourself. And look, you absolutely can. I've given you the complete framework, and that's why I made this video. But to be honest with you guys, here's likely what's gonna happen. You'll hit roadblocks that I possibly could not have covered in a 2-hour-long video. You'll face really specific problems with either your product, creatives, or just overall experience with the business model. And you'll waste so much time and money figuring things out through trial and error. And worst of all, you'll probably make the same mistakes as me when I was starting out. Then there's option 3. You join our community Brandify, where you get direct access to me and my team, weekly coaching calls, and one-on-one support, our complete suite of SOPs and processes we use to scale all our brands that all our students use to crush it as well. Obviously, all our suppliers, our whole supplier network, and our whole ad account network, so you get my whole network basically. Our creative team framework, so you get everything you need in order to scale creatives and actually do the marketing properly, and literally everything you guys need to build, scale, and even sell your e-commerce business. I mean, guys, I wish there was just more knowledge out there for this specific business model, but as you can tell in this course, not a lot of people talk about this. I'm one of the only few people on the planet that have done this business model properly and are actively doing it. So in our community, we show you guys everything. But here's the thing, Brandify is not for everyone. In fact, we reject around 80% of applicants because we're looking for people who are actually serious about the business model. Guys, we take our success rate very seriously. We're not looking for people who just want another get-rich-quick scheme. We want people who want real value and know the importance of network and knowing what to do. And to be honest, if you stuck through this whole entire video, you're probably serious about the business model, and this is probably a great fit for you. It seems to me that you're ready to do it the right way. So here's what I want you to do right now. Click the first link in the description. It'll take you to our application form. If it looks like you're a good fit, our team will reach out to you and will schedule a call to map everything out. And look, I get it. 2 hours ago, you were probably skeptical. Maybe you've been burned by mentorships before, because God knows I have. But I literally just gave you my entire playbook for free. Everything we do. Why? Because I want to prove to you guys that I'm different, that we actually care about you building a real e-commerce store and we actually know how this business model works. Now, the real question arises is, what are you going to do with this information? The application link is below. And if you're ready to build something real, I'll see you guys on the other side. Oh, and if you got value from this video, be sure to like and subscribe. I share actual strategies and a lot of the behind the scenes when it comes to running multi-million-dollar branded dropshipping stores. So once you're done applying for Brandify, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.